It ain't gonna take long. Yeah, give me a second. 1 second. Yep. Peace, everybody. Peace, peace, peace. I got a little time real fast. I was gonna jump on here and share. Oh, let me get my notes. And share the information with the people. If you like the teachings, all my people on TikTok, hit my bio, leave a donation, send me an email. I can send you some literature. But if you don't like the teaching, and if you do like the teachings and you don't want to donate, that's fine too. That's fine too. It's no problem. I do things that it's no pressure. It's suggested. That's all. But I'm always going to come back and share the things that I teach, with others that ask me to come teach themselves and their children. So I'm going to always come back and just share a little bit. And I tell my brothers and sisters again, it's nothing new under the sun. It's nothing secret. It's nothing secret. We just not informed. And our brothers and sisters, we don't use what we have to build infrastructure. We always talking about when the flesh is gone and all that, but that's not what I teach. That's not what I talk about. What I've seen on social media is religious people, especially a lot of Christian brothers and sisters. They are some of the worst trolls in the world, because those are the only people that I see jump on other people social media platforms and then get to spoon off their religious perspective or their religious dogma. And I tell all brothers and sisters that believe however you believe, why don't you create your own pages? And why don't you share the teachings with those that believe how you believe? What is showing me, social media, Instagram, has made a lot of these religious people is show their true colors. And so, as a people, I always tried to show real science and real history, because I understand religion. I went to academia for it. I understand business. I went to academia for that as well. I also help people structure their businesses. I also show our brothers and sisters what's real and transparent. I'll give you an analogy. A lot of our own people don't be honest when they doing real estate or when they getting people caught up in third-party contracts. And I tell everyone about mortgages, about debt, and the etymology of these things. Just like I heard someone's talking about they got a 19% interest rate on a home loan. I said a 19% interest rate on a home loan. How much was the home loan? 100 grand. You're gonna be paying 6 times, 579 grand. And then the average person that's not in tune or educated on what they're going into because the biggest contract that you're gonna sign ever is a home. Some people a car, but it's a home. Most people, when you get and I'll just use $100,000 a home loan with a certain interest rate, the average brother and sister, you be paying 3 times the amount of that home loan. So if that's what you want to do, that's on you. It's all contingent on the interest rate, your credit, all this stuff. And then a lot of people be upside down and then they lose. And so I tell brothers this stuff, just like I told these group of Moors when they was in the state of Florida. I said, man, I got family in Florida, and I reside in Florida. Squatters have no rights in the state of Florida. I don't know what you talking about. I don't know what book you read. I can care less of bump stuff. Squatters have no rights in the state of Florida. You can come with that stuff. You watch some video with some bum all you want to. Squatters have no rights in the state of Florida. You come with that fake Moorish science stuff that these people be sovereign citizen, that Roger Elvig stuff, and I'm saying that's poor science. And then at verse D, oh man, no, you don't know, and so you're doing some bum stuff. Now let me play devil's advocate with you and show you how things are set up the right way. I just told you in the state of Florida, squatters have no rights, and it's a difference from what you think. It's a difference from abandoned versus unoccupied properties. It's a difference from abandoned and unoccupied properties. That's number one. And if you haven't done your due diligence, that's on you. Squatters have no rights in the state of Florida. I tell all these brothers, I don't care if you Muhammad Ali this, and that, and the other, or you follow this and that and the other, that's the problem with us, because most people don't know. And they act like they know something because they cook. And I say, well, you expertise, or you should be talking about cooking. A lot of people be over their pay grade. If you a cook, tell me about cooking. I don't care about your religion, because that's not what you do all the time. I don't care about nothing else that you do, because what you do all the time is your expertise. If you cook, man, tell me about cooking. Don't tell me about no science and that ain't what you do. Don't tell me about working out and your stomach big and you eat like a Oscar the Grouch. Don't tell me about every blue moon you feel like you're gonna work out, you get on there and working out, but it's no consistency, and people can't be around consistency. That's why most people don't see themselves as God, because when they see their brother operating like that, the first thing they do is get intimidated, but not in the real world. Not in the real world. I'm getting ready to be in Sacramento in August the 11th. I'll be in Sacramento for a minute, then I'll be in St. Louis. We making our rounds, man. And so I teach people this and they listen. And I go all over the world and do this now. I tell people that residents need to protest. In the city of Flint, you got all this raggedy stuff. Land bank own these houses, all these trash houses. Why they not being fined? You would be fined if your grass not cut. You would be fined if your house a mess and all that. So land bank in the city of Flint own all these houses in the neighborhood that they just set forever and trying to sell back to the people that they already been paid for. Why? Because most of the houses in the neighborhood, it was occupied when I was going to high school. All my friends, they family stayed in the neighborhood. A lot of the families left, some families passed, and so a lot of the kids or they moved out in different states or different communities. So if they don't take the houses and keep them up, you lose the houses for back taxes. And that's what happened. And so when you lose the house for back taxes, if they don't be flipped in the urban community, bums and stuff, they tear all the pipes and stuff out of the houses. We're supposed to control everything and own nothing. The church owns everything. Cars, building, houses, etc. Listen, all you got to do is listen to people when they don't tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me God, when it trickle down to the people. A lot of people will tell you, well, I don't get paid from the church and this, and that, and the other. But then all you got to do is order them why their house is in the church name. If you making all this money, you got all these businesses, your house, your personal house should not be in the church name. Well, I don't get paid from the church. Yeah, I know, because you're using the church status and you're using those funds to pay for your living quarters. Why? Because your house is in the church name. And these people know. They know, but they think you stupid. They playing a game. And so in the city of Flint, land bank own all these raggedy houses. The church is right in the neighborhood and the churches don't own everything. Tell me why. Because we don't understand about community. We don't understand how when everybody watched Sopranos, and I ask brothers, did you watch Sopranos? Have you watched the series? Yep. They talk about all the gangster stuff, but not the infrastructure. Not the infrastructure. And I say, do y'all see how these people operating? Nope. All the gangsters are under their religious order. The church owe everything, the houses, the cars, the everything. When you look at the science, we're supposed to control everything and own nothing. We are supposed to be members of a religious community. The church is supposed to own everything. We can have a plethora of parsonage houses. We can have a plethora of automobiles. How? And it can all be owned by the church. I keep explaining this to my brothers and sisters. and it fall on deaf ears. I said, man, I'm not sitting on social media arguing with nobody, man-made religion. That's not my mission. I'm way past that. If you come on my page talking what about this, man, I'm just gonna block you. You come on my page with the Islam stuff, I'm blocking you. You come on my page with the European or the Negro Christian stuff, I'm blocking you. Because none of that stuff matters to me. We way past that. And when you become international and when you become the enlightened one, you will know this. You would know this. You would know all the signs and symbols and what the origin of Illuminati is, the aha moment, the enlightened one. You would know what the Rosicrucian manual, you would know. You wouldn't be afraid of none of the signs and symbols. You wouldn't be afraid of none of the esoteric teachings, the Gnostic teachings. Why? Because you will have a full understanding of the way. You have a full understanding of cipher. You have a full understanding of numerology and the number system. You have a full understanding on man-made in the image of the Creator. You will have a full understanding. You know? And we talk about these things in class, and we use these things for power. I'm telling you. People, when you go, all I tell people is go on these people page, because I go on everybody page that be on mine. Everybody that be on my page, I've written your name down. I know people in your area, and I know most people just be making up names. They ain't like that. I know this for a fact. None of these people be like that, because you go on their page and see what they about. That's all you do. That's all I do. People be having these names, and I'm not talking about nobody. Then when I ask them what's up with the science and where the name come from, it'd be a whole bunch of clown stuff. You know, this all I be telling people. I'll be like, why do we give ourselves certain names and things like that? But then we're not under the science. We really not under a craft. We really not under a brotherhood. You know, we really don't support nothing. So when you in the SOS moment, where your community? Where your community? You know, because when people be talking things and then I break down the science and they be like, well, you know, Sheik, this, that, and the other. And I say, well, that be your handle. People Facebook pages and Instagram pages be Illuminati this and 420 this, that, and the other, and having all this symbology and signs and symbols of the primordial man. And then I exhume the signs and symbols. Then when I start talking to craft to these people, I say, oh, so everything is social media. It's like when people wear do-rags and they ain't gang and they say, oh, they wear it because it matches clothes. And I said, well, you invite everything that the ones that it means something to them, you just wearing it because you like the clothes, because you're not really like that. And this is what I be telling people. It's like, man, we have to stop playing. And if we're not really like that, we need to be initiated into the wisdom. You just can't go buy, how can I say, you can go buy a black belt off Amazon, but that don't mean you know the forms. That don't mean you know the gulps. And why would you want to be a perpetrator? Why wouldn't you want to go through the craft and through the lessons and through the cups to know exactly what it is? Why would we want to be a perpetrator? And then when people ask you about things, because people have the right to ask you about something, you know nothing about the science. You know nothing about the prerequisite science of it is. You know no prerequisites. You know zero prerequisites. And this is what I'd be telling us. I said, man, most people be playing because where your brotherhood? And how was you introduced to the science or initiated to the science? And if you know, what's the 360 degrees of wisdom? Especially people be having turbans on. When you get with a right organization, with a right sheik, with a right shaman, with a right medicine man, you get the science when you put that turban and the fez on you. Why? Because that's what you under. That's what you under. And so I know the average brother and sister, they're not part of nothing. Because just go on their page and look. Y'all want me to go on these people, everybody TikTok page and show you what their page look like? You'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, I told you. I'd be like, most people pages be full of folly. Cause I be on the page, I'd be like, man, this dude is just playing on social media, playing. You know, you will see people on the internet got that green book, talk about squatters and what they talk about canceling corporate debt. You will see grown people on social media that say they Moors. And I say, dude, you don't have no corporate debt. You have no corporate debt. You have no corporate debt. And then these people be showing you how to be criminals as adults. Because when I be seeing these Moors squatting in houses, I say squatters have no rights. Now the reason people can come into a, how can I say, the hardest hit fund or a misnomer black community and squat in the house because everything raggedy. Nobody gonna say nothing. When you move out to a neighborhood and you try to get that paperwork and move into a mansion, which you can't afford to even to pay the taxes on it, then of course people gonna say something. because they looking at you, they looking at how you operating. They be like, well, I know this person ain't did this because how you operating. And so when you deal in the urban community, anybody can come in that urban community and squat in the house and cut the lights on and or say do what they want. Most people not gonna say nothing. Most people not gonna say nothing. So I told y'all, Morris, y'all done got that little green book and y'all done listened to all these caricatures tell you, oh, you can cancel corporate debt. You can expatriate from the de facto government. And everybody on here know y'all heard that. And then I say, when you expatriate from the de facto government, who do you have allegiance with? I wait, crickets. You would be a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. But right here, prime candidate for the FEMA camp. Prime candidate. And squatters have no right. How I know? I know too many Moors in Florida got their butt locked up. Then they moms and they wives calling me, Sheik, my husband. Well, I said, no, what were they doing? And then when I showed them the facts, this what everybody be saying, parents, well, why they didn't get with you? Ask them why. Because they don't want the truth. They can't handle the truth. Most people think they're gonna get something. Most Moors talk about, I need to do a status correction. Like you finna all of a sudden transform to an Autobot and you get ready to make these $1 million. And then when I ask everybody on social media who you be hearing it from, they won't tell. But I already know where you getting the crap from. You ain't got to tell me. Everybody falling for the RICO. You ain't got to tell me where you getting it from, because I know where you getting it from. And you know I know where you getting that garbage from. You know I know where you getting that garbage from. You know where all them fake gurus coming. You know where you getting that garbage from. And nobody can sit up here and deny it, because I'll show y'all all these people real names. You're dealing with a person with a fictitious name, doing the same thing that Michael Novak was doing. They doing the same thing. And so when they tell you can reverse this, no, you can't. Squatters have no rights, especially in the state of Michigan. These so-called Moors, they locked up in Florida. And you could be like, I wonder where they happened. They almost got their life took because the people that own the property and all that, they squatted in their stuff. They said, no, we ain't going to do this. We coming with our security. And you got 3 seconds to get out of there. And it was real, real bad. And then those so-called Moors that say they don't abide by no laws or no rules, they tried to use the law to defend themselves, contempt of court, lock their butt up. They said, y'all not citizens, y'all this, y'all foreign national, they all this, you got y'all all this. Nobody defended them. They look stupid. They still right now and can't even make bail. Can't even make bail. Can't even make $1,000 bail. I'll be like, man, gone. Calling me, Sheik, you in Arizona, such and such, and that's exactly what I say. And call the people that had you do all that you paid them all that money. Call them and see if they're gonna show up. Call them. Call the people that say cancel corporate debt. Call the people that say you want to expatriate from the de facto government. Call them people that say squatters, you can squat in a house and it's not in the other. Call them. And I'm telling you, that's no truth. In the state of Florida, squatters have no rights, and definitely in the state of Michigan. And for the bums in the city of Flint that's doing it, all poor science. Squatting refers to occupying, an abandoned or vacant property without permission from the owner. Squatters enter and take up residence in properties they do not have the right or title to. When a person say, okay, a person could just squat in your car. How? And say they found it. Oh man, I just saw this sitting right here. I found it. You see how idiotic it means? Ain't nothing lost. I might have just parked it. I own it. Understand what I'm saying? This like a person, you walking down the street and you see a bike on the sidewalk and you say, well, ain't nobody came and got it, and you take it home. Did you find it or did you steal it? And watch everybody say, I found it. They argue all day. No, you didn't. You didn't find it. You stole it. Why? Because you didn't do your due diligence based off law governs all events to make sure somebody wasn't chased off it and it was theirs, or anything tragedy happened, X, Y, Z. You didn't do your due diligence pertaining to the state or to the local laws. So when you come on here and just be fluent up at the mouth, I say that's why brothers be locked up and then they won't tell the truth of what happened to them. But I know all their names. And I'm telling you, everybody on here, they going to jail. Or they already gone, or they already went. They already got their indictment papers. Anybody want to play the game? Everybody that y'all following on social media, the dude that's riding around a light-skinned dude, anytime you respond on social media and give your name, that's a RICO law. I'm telling you, and that's how they get people caught up. You ain't got to believe me. In Michigan, squatting is considered criminal trespassing. Criminal trespassing. So if squatting is criminal trespassing, that means what? You broken something. You trespassed it. As I quote, there are no squatters' rights. Once again, there are no squatters' rights. Squatters have no legal right to occupy properties that they do not own or rent. Squatting is a criminal offense, not a civil matter. So when people just be on the internet spilling up at the mouth, I say, man, we gonna fact check it. And then I'm gonna tell you what happened to these jacklegs. Simply put it, squatting involves trespassing on private property. So if you have anything and it's yours, make sure you post private property. That's number uno. It's certain things that you must do. Post. So once you post private property, it's yours, it's a wrap. Understand that. Understand that. Simply put it, squatting involves trespassing on private property and occupying it without the consent of the owner. Consent meaning I'm saying you can do it. Squatters often target abandoned or unoccupied homes and buildings. However, they can also illegally occupy inhabited properties when the residents are away. When somebody say, "Oh, I found it." The act of squatting itself does not give squatters any rights to the property. They are essentially trespassing and can be criminally charged and removed. So what I be telling people that know law, don't go get no, I'm gonna go take this person to court and get a contract, piecing Malik, with a tenant, and you got to evict them. When you do that, you open the, how can I say it, valet. How? Because you open up, now you open up a dispute with them. Just like I told y'all, people be thinking they smart. Well, I'm gonna say I'm not guilty. Now you got to defend yourself because you don't know the words that I'm pertaining to in this craft. I'm telling you, and you can hangman yourself by thinking you know something, and you ain't talked to no one that got your best interest. You just go off on the deep end. And property owners do not need to go through a formal eviction process to remove squatters. So if that's the case, but then beforehand, listen to the double talk, they say you will have to get a court order. But then in the same word, it says that property owners do not need to go through a formal eviction process to remove squatters. Now, requirements for adverse possession in Michigan. Let's be clear, because these Moors, a whole group of them, done got their butts locked up. A whole group of y'all done got locked up in Florida. And please don't call my phone again, because somebody's wife is on here. I know it. I saw her and she jumped off. So don't come on here on social media and ask me nothing, because I told everybody this day was going to come. I told people a long time ago. I said it's coming. Everybody trying to run now. Everybody trying to run now. You got to remember, you can't plead insanity. You can't plead brainwashing because you an adult. And then you don't know none of these people's names and you sending stuff to a P.O. box. That's why I told people a long time ago, we love to be fooled by caricatures. And everybody on social media, everybody know exactly the person that I'm talking about. Everybody, oh, I can file this. Oh, you said I can act like I'm Amish and this and that. And your social security is attached to some millions. If yours is, why theirs not? Oh, he said it's credit. Okay, well, if you got $1 million of credit, don't he? I like, come on, y'all. Like, it's just like people thought the moon landing was real. And I said, well, who recorded them on the moon? And who drove the car on the moon? Like, it's too much variables to go with things to be like, we can't be that lost with our mind that we're going to believe this. Come on. The first requirement is that the squatter must occupy the property continuously for a 15-year period. This in the city of Flint. So to say you squatter in something, this, not, and the other, no. You have to occupy that area from no disturbance for 15 years. This means physically living on the property as the owner would, without any extended gaps of abandonment. Second, the squatter must pay the property taxes on the land for those continuous 15 years. So if you in that house for that time, you squatting, and you ain't paid the property tax, when it come down to the come down, you still don't own nothing because you ain't paid the property tax for the time that you was been there. And then you must demonstrate proof that you have been paying the taxes on the property for that entire duration that you in there. Just like how people lose their houses in my city of Flint. You got to pay your property taxes. People need to stop lying. Everybody, I have the whole list in the city of Flint for foreclosed houses and land bank. I know everybody that lost their house from back tax. Just like family members in my family lost house from back tax. You know, and then I have family members that just let the house sit, and so damn, they don't pay the back taxes, and it become just an eyesore. And then land bank own it, or it get tore down, or they squat in it. You know, bums, but who cares? Because it's in the urban community, and everything in the urban community, if you don't live in it, is raggedy. Additionally, the squatter must take valuable improvements. You must make improvements to that property. This could include maintenance, renovations, additions, or other action that increase the property value. Simply keeping the property maintained is generally not enough. And finally, the squatters Occupation of the land must be open and notorious. This means their possessions of the property is obvious, unambiguous, and apparent to others, meaning the community. They must occupy and use the land in a way that makes it clear they are asserting ownership. You know, being a neighbor, being a citizen per se. And then these more, I'm not a citizen and all that. Yes, you are. Don't pay your property taxes on where you stay and watch you lose everything. Don't get on social media just capping off at the mouth. You got a job, you paying property taxes. You waiting for income, you don't sign, I can't wait to get a tax return. You're not getting no tax return. So tell the truth. It ain't no more on here that live in no community and no taxes. So don't get on here and lie to me. You driving a car on the highway, you done register and everything. I hope you got insurance, because I wouldn't drive my mom and my grandma and my kids in no car with no crazy person that's on some radical stuff and saying, I'm a Moor, we don't have to have driver's license or nothing. And then a big rig hits you. Then you're gonna try to use the law that you say that you don't have to abide to defend yourself. The irony of that, the irony of a criminal, a sovereign citizen, the irony that'll learn a whole bunch of criminal stuff once they become an adult. And I thought you're supposed to be doing things the right way. I thought we weren't supposed to be sending people and burning houses. I thought the science and the education is supposed to come first. Most squatters are removed from properties long before reaching a 15-year milestone through legal eviction proceedings. Now, when I talk about abandoned versus unoccupied properties, listen to this. In Michigan, there are important differences between squatting in an abandoned property versus one that is simply unoccupied. I'll give you an analogy. Me and my noble Malik on here can own a property, right? And it can be unoccupied, but we paying the property taxes. It ain't abandoned, it's ours. And if we got our security team and we find out, we dragging you out of there. And anything else happen, oh well, because you broke in. So it refers to a building that the owner, this is abandoned property. An abandoned property generally refers to a building that the owner has vacated and ceased maintaining or caring for. It may have fallen into despair. Listen, abandoned property. An abandoned property generally refers to a building, home that the owner has vacated and ceased maintaining or caring for. It may have fallen into despair. Like, I love everybody. I got an uncle. I'm telling you, I got family members. My dad in here, my mom in here. All I'm going to talk about is real things. I don't have to talk about nobody else. That's why I said the truth will set you free. If it's the truth, well, you got to deal with it. Because if I had a house and I say, well, I don't live in the city of Flint, I got nieces and nephews, and it's a duplex, it's an apartment upstairs and then a 3-bedroom house downstairs, and I don't let none of my nieces or nephews get the house to change their life, and I just let it sit, or I pay the property tax and the houses get toe up, and then eventually you don't pay the property taxes no more and it go to waste. Like, come on, man. Can't nobody tell me this. If you got a brother or someone that the family gave him a house and then they lie and make a whole bunch of stuff up and then they lose the family house from back taxes, and then if you ain't occupying it, they gonna strip the whole house. Tell the truth. Tell the truth, and that's what happens. Squatters typically target abandoned properties because they have been neglected by the owner for a long time. So when we talk about abandoned properties, plight. What's plight? All these houses that land bank own. And I tell people, which really just, how can I say, tick me off to the highest tictivity when I was able to sit down and show people this stuff, how land bank is the black hand. They own all these old houses that they just been sitting forever for, and then auction them off to the people for free. And so they try to sell them to the people back. And these houses been paid for, because these were houses owned by people, families and stuff in the neighborhoods. Some of the families passed, some of the families moved out of town, and some of the kids, they just didn't want the house and they ain't pay their property taxes. So you got a whole neighborhood of raggedy stuff. So, and then you talk about another one is the owner may have passed away, moved away, or intentionally deserted the property with no intention of returning. This is another way you can get houses that might not be raggedy or might be unoccupied, because you can look up the person and in the title company in the city and see that they still own the house, see are they up current on the taxes, because it's a certain amount of years that the house go up in foreclosure for back taxes. So if they're not behind how can I say, X amount of years, depending on that local or state law, then you can look them up and say, hey, Mr. Michael Johnson, I looked you up in the city records, and, you know, and titles, and you own this house on such street. You know, next year the house about to go up for taxes. Are you interested in, you know, let me get it off your hand for the back taxes, or what? You can negotiate with that person. That person say, man, I thought I was gonna give it to my kids. None of my kids want it. I've been paying the property taxes on it forever. I just didn't want it to go away. I would love to get from under it. And then you get houses like that, you know? Abandoned properties often have unpaid property taxes or utility bills, overgrown vegetation, and visible, you know, the houses be getting tore up, you know? So an unoccupied property is a property that still has an active owner who intends to return and maintain or sell the property. I'll give an analogy, because I'm always going to give analogies and teach. Say if me and my Mufti Malik, we bought a house in the city of Flint, you know, fixed it up from Land Bank. You know, we bought it for a couple $1,000, which we was looking at doing some more. But anyway, we fixed it all up. We don't stay here. We own the house. We paying the property taxes. So we'll keep it maintained, have somebody, you know, checking the house all through the day. And it's still ours. Because we might not want to rent it out. We might just want to sell it and make somebody a homeowner or XYZ, or say we didn't rent the house out yet, you know? So that too. So when somebody's squatting there, you know, it's not locked. You broke in. The owner may be away temporarily for an extended time, such as military, caring for families, or other things that they may want to do. Unoccupied properties are usually still maintained, have utilities connected, and do not show signs of neglect. That's how people don't do their due diligence. It is always illegal for squatters to occupy an unoccupied property, even if the owner is away for years. It don't matter how long he's away. Long as that person is up on their property taxes and they keep the grass cut and they keep the walkway shovel for the mailman can walk past, you can't just go and squat in nobody's property. The owner has not surrendered ownership rights. Unoccupied properties have a much stronger defense against adverse possession claims. That's what they be doing, since the owner clearly intends to reclaim the property. You can't do no adverse possession. Why? I'm up on my taxes, so you're going to lose, and you might lose your life. I'm just telling you for educational purposes only. And the distinction between abandoned and unoccupied is very important in adverse possession cases. I see them. I have case studies. I keep telling people this is my expertise. I'll be going to court. Before I messed all my muftis, I used to see all the Lion Moors on social media, especially the ones in Arizona. And then all I do is pull up the docket, and I'll be waiting for some Moors to get on here with that mumbo jumbo fugazi stuff. And I'll be like, man, stop lying. You know? Step to remove squatters in Michigan. If you find squatters, listen to this, occupying your Michigan property, you will need to take legal action to remove them. So this is what they say. Call the police. Okay. And they say to do what? They trespassing. Not, I got a tenant in there and they ain't left yet. Because they not a tenant. That's not a tenant. That's number uno. So your language, everything, then they tell you, well, you need to go get an eviction notice. If somebody, just because somebody advised you or tell you to go do something, and I'm giving you, I got your best interest, I'm going to tell you not to do that. Because as soon as you do that, what? You have opened up third party litigation. So now when you get that, is this person a tenant? If I ask you, is this person a tenant, and you say no, wait, why would you go get an eviction notice for this person that trespassed? You're not even thinking. Then the police can visit the property and inform the squatters that they are trespassing. They say they can go and inform them. In some cases, the police may be able to remove the squatter on the spot and charge them with what? Criminal trespassing. However, the police cannot forcibly remove the squatters unless there is a court order. So you see how people be like, man, they got all type of rights. I just told you, the police cannot forcibly remove the squatters unless there is a court order. Now they can leave willingly. I'm telling you, law in Michigan, I don't care what nobody say. You come with those games, I'm gonna start exposing. Everybody be like, man, they lying and they poor. And then this is what I would do. They say serve the squatters with a written notice to vacate. I'm not serving no squatter with no written notice to vacate. Because that means it's like volley, and I'm not volleying with no criminal or no trespass. I'm not volleying and going through no reason with no one that's criminalizing me. I'm not doing that. I know way better than that. You know? Then they talk about after that, your next step is to provide written notice for the squatters to leave the premises. In Michigan, you can serve a 7-day notice to quit. This gives the squatter 7 days to vacate before further legal action is taken. So now they got so many rights. So now you got 7 days to get out. Okay, after the 7 days, what? I'm gonna go beg again? No. I'm telling you, and this is how people get caught up when you go into court in litigation. I'm trying to teach you the right way. You have to have the right representation to say, man, I'm not getting into through no third-party contract with this criminal. The notice should identify the property, state that they are trespassing, and demand that they leave within 7 days. That's all we doing. I'm demanding you leave in 7 days. What's the next thing? We coming in. We coming in how? Because it's mine. We coming in. I don't care if you change the locks. We coming in. We're bolt cutters. We coming in. Just like if we was bounty hunters, we coming in. We property bounty hunters. We coming in the same way. Then they tell you, and this, I would never give nobody this information, file an eviction lawsuit if they fail to leave. I'm not filing no eviction lawsuit because I'm not evicting you. You trespass. How can you evict someone that trespassed? How? That's an oxymoron. If the squatters don't leave after being served with the notice, you would need to file a formal eviction lawsuit against them. Now you're telling me I got to file a lawsuit against a bum? A bum don't have nothing. This is done through your local and county court. You're going to be the one paying the courts. At the end, the court's going to win. This is why I'm telling you, if you're not, you can set up yourself the right way as a private entity. I'm telling you, with your own private security, I'm telling you what I know. Then they say you will need to provide evidence that you own the property and that the defendants are trespassing. What you mean I needed to provide that? I already did. That's why you did all this. When you called the police with the 7 day, you see how certain things is redundant, when you can fact check stuff, because I already been trained for this. I already been anointed for this. The court will schedule a hearing where you can seek a judge to have the squatters evicted. So I got to go through all this. I got to seek a judge, to ask a judge, pay all these people all this time to seek to have them evicted. How? How? I ain't evicting no tenant. Then you want me to get a court order? I'm not doing that. Then it says, listen to this. If the court rules in your favor, how you gonna say if the court rules in my favor and this is my property? You will be issued an eviction order, a piece of paper, which is meaningless. They still there. This authorized the local sheriff department to physically remove the squatters from the property if they don't leave voluntarily. After all that, the sheriff will visit the property and force the squatters out. If they resist, they may be arrested for trespassing. You ain't got to worry about that because off the dribble, when I go back to the beginning, they already said they was what? Trespassing. Do you hear this? If they was trespassing from day one, you played yourself by how what? Going into volley with a criminal, not knowing this, not knowing your rights, to trump all this, to not go into a bidding contract with anybody. You have to know this. Just like I talk about a will. A will is litigation. I keep trying to tell people, take everything out of will and put it in a form of trust that fits you. You don't want to listen to me, you will be in court. I try to tell everybody that have a business, I don't care what nobody say. I'm like, dude, social media will get you in trouble. How? By not crossing your T's and by not dotting your I's. Why? Because when you do business and you're not doing it the right way, you're either in competition with the people that's legit and other people hate. I tell people this all day. They be mad at the right thing. I said, you should want to seek counsel first before you do anything. Just like the young boy was all on social media in the city of Flint. I always use situations. If this situation fits you, I hope you crossed all your T's and dots your I's. And if you haven't, you should get with me, give a donation, and I can make sure you crossed your T's and dot your I's. If not, you will be shut down. It was a young boy in the city of Flint promoting everything. Yeah, I'll be out at night selling dinners. And then I'm like, okay, you're going to get shut down. Why? Because you got to have a prep kitchen. And people don't be understanding this. So all the stuff you be doing, the health department, it come shut you down. Why? Because you didn't cross your T's and dot your I's. And so bam, you can get shut down. If you ain't got things set up the right way, the proper insurance, you can be shut down. How? You'll feed somebody and they say they got sick. And you don't know about certain liabilities that you'll fall under when you're doing things the right way because you ain't talked to the right person. Just like a person say, have you talked to a contract attorney? Like, have you talked to someone that got your best interest in contract law, which I'm versed and educated in? Nope. So when people be doing things and they get shut down, get back on here and tell the truth. What happened to you? Get back on here and tell the truth, and tell how the food administration came to your employment, to your house and shut you down because you ain't operating out of prep kitchen. I'm telling you, and the first thing you do is get on social media and show both of your hands. That's what I be telling people. Then they be upset at me. I said, you the one did it. We don't do no case studies or nothing before we do things. That's the difference from an educated person that say, man, I want to teach you something first. You do case studies. I don't care if you feel a certain way. Are you going to buy all the stuff? People won't deal with you for a certain name or a certain thing. You do case studies. You see probabilities. Then you come with a great bio. People pay good money for this information. That's why a lot of things fail, because I'll be saying, did you do your due diligence first? Is your paperwork right first? If your paperwork not right first, then you got to go back and do your paperwork. You know? And so when I be talking about squatters versus trespassers in Michigan, there is important legal distinction between squatting and trespassing. Remember, in Michigan, squatting involves occupying an abandoned or unoccupied property without the owner's permission, with the intent to gain ownership through adverse possession. That's what these Moors be doing. Y'all know it. You can sit up here and don't sit up here and tell me no lies. Squatters will try to openly occupy the property to meet the open and notorious requirements. Now, trespassing simply means entering private property without permission from the owner. Trespassers do not make an open claim to the property like squatters do. You know, squatters try to make an open claim. That's how you got to know this. And that's how you can get a person caught up in words. You can say, are you trespassing or are you squatting? See, the so-called referee, he know this. He know you don't know this. And so you get caught up in this little volley with these words. They know you don't know nothing, so you screwed. I'm telling you what I know. I see it happen so many times. People being there unequipped. When it comes to me, I say, for the record, Your Honor, we're not even playing no games off the top. I'm coming just like that, off the dribble. Bam, 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 the facts, and I'm going to rest my case. It's going to be no rebuttal. And then I'm going to bring up certain things in your courts for the record. Squatting could potentially lead to adverse possession if the squatter meets all legal requirements and occupies the property for the statutory period of 15 years. Trespassing is always illegal in Michigan, regardless of the circumstances. Property owners have the right to remove trespassers immediately. Listen, trespassing is always illegal in Michigan, regardless of the circumstances. Property owners have the right to remove trespassers immediately. Immediately. The key difference is that squatters occupy the property with the goal of taking ownership, while trespassers merely enter without any claim to the land. So if a person done any little due diligence, you'll be like, man, you don't own this property. You've been lost it in back taxes. The city might own it, blah, blah, blah. Or it just might be an abandoned property. You see? Squatters have no rights unless they complete the lengthy adverse possession process. Both squatting and trespassing can result in civil and criminal penalties. Most of the time, it's a criminal case. And so when you see these Moors, and they always talking about that adverse possession, because this all they talk, a whole bunch of criminal stuff. You got a whole bunch of old, washed up men with fez and turbans on, that's criminals. And that's why I talk like that, because I take our garments special to us. You can't put on our garments and then that hides you from being a criminal. No, man. Preventing adverse possession. Property owners in Michigan can take the steps to prevent squatters from being able to claim adverse possession of their property. Check on vacant property regularly. When I'm saying have your own security team checking on your property. Conduct routine inspections of your property, buildings, and your land. Look for signs of trespassing. Post no trespassing signs. When you post no trespassing signs and private property on it, that means they know. I'm telling you. Visibly posting no trespassing signs help warn squatters and aids law enforcement in removing trespassers. When it's posted, then they know it's private property. Maintain the property exterior, grass cut, all this stuff, etc. Keep up maintenance. Keep up with your property tax. Pay your taxes on time. Lapse in tax payments can support an adverse possession claim. That helps it. If you behind on your taxes, it's going to help these people with their adverse possession, because they're going to say, you behind on your taxes. Well, now you don't open up a case on yourself. Well, when you going to pay your taxes? So you still can lose. And then the law, if I pay the property taxes, it's going to give you a certain amount of time to pay it. And if you don't pay it, it's mine. I'll be waiting for somebody to get on here and lie. I got family that have lost their house from back taxes. I got family that had a house and just sat on them until they got raggedy, point blank. My mom and my dad right here, they'll come sit next to me. I love my family, my uncles and everybody and all that, but they guilty. My brother guilty. So I don't care what nobody say. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Can't be mad at me, so what? And this is what I be telling people. So what? Tell the truth. Why? We done this. Ain't nobody came to our neighborhood to do this. Ain't nobody forced. No. It's all us. And so when I be telling people about doing things the right way, especially our people, it fall on deaf ears. When I'm able to show this stuff, when I've been at home for almost 4 months, and most of my teachers and speakers been in Howell, Michigan, been at the Jewish churches. I get to speak to different colleagues about history, about this stuff, about trust funds. I sat down with a whole group of college students at the Dango library. I said, I'm not going to post it. I've been at the library once every Friday, a couple times on Saturdays. I taught a whole lecture on trust funds, because this I just talked about specifically 16 different trusts. And then everybody was telling me, well, what trust should we get? I don't tell nobody what to do. I educate you, and you do what's best for you. You can ask me what would I do that'll fit me, and then I can tell you what fits me. If my lifestyle or how I handle things fit, or if it's similar to what you're doing or what you want to do, then you can say, okay, I think I'm going to get me a living trust. You might say, I'm going to get me an irrevocable trust or a revocable trust or any type of, or whatever that fits you. I educate you on all these things. You must be educated. So when you go into things, no one can pull a wool over your eyes. You don't go in there and say, you didn't know. Or I had no idea, because that's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with people that have no idea. And I'm telling you, I've been anointed and consecrated. That's all I'm saying. I've been introduced to this wisdom, to this science. This is what I'm telling you. And I came back to bring it to my people, to show us how we can get a brick and mortar, to show us how we can buy land under our religious and charitable contribution of our choice, and everybody get a tax-exempt receipt. I showed everybody how we can be private. I give so many examples. Man, we should be way past what color somebody's fez is, or how you spell more. Or we not the M-O-O-Rs, we the M-U-U-Rs. All that semantics. And then I say, okay, well, screw all that. I'm an Amazigian. What's an Amazigian? See, that's what I'm saying. So you don't understand language. You don't understand linguistics. You don't understand history. And you don't understand things that's our synonyms. We must learn. And if we're going to talk about and be religiously so smart and then economically have nothing, that's an oxymoron. Why? Because once again, others use it for power. You can't be that so wise and be poor. Then they say, well, it ain't about money. I ain't say it was about money neither. I said you can't be that so-called wise and poor. How? Because if the spiritual things are so high and you can't attract none of the material things to live a decent life, that's the issue. If you got to work your hand to the bone and you talk about, I work 100 hours a week, I know you don't have time to study. I know you don't have time to work out. So your life is going to end real fast. Why? Because you're not enjoying none of the fruits of your labor. You're working and you're working and you're working. And if you're working, what are you supporting? Come on, man, we have to discuss these real things. That's why a lot of us, as we get older and we see things and people lose property. People lose, especially us as a people, because my Mufti Malik is on here, and I love my brother. And my brother be like, we can link up with people and that, and this, that, and the other. But I don't have no passion when linking up with people that just is hateful. And I call it barbershop talk. I call it like on The Living Color when the dude was in jail, he using all those big words. After you talk about all this old stuff, and then what you gonna go? I bet you everybody go right back to their low income jobs. Most of these people, they live with a girl on welfare. And then he telling her to flip her taxes. He driving her car right now. He don't have no license or nothing. These are the type of individuals that we're dealing with. These are the type of individuals that we're dealing with. And I don't teach that. And I'm saying, after you done read all the books, now what? We don't even own nothing. Brothers can't even support themselves on their own. And then that's what I be saying. I said, brothers not even educated. Brothers be bragging because they dropped out of school. Oh, I dropped out of school in the 12th grade. And then in the same breath, call himself a scholar. I'm like, that ain't nothing for us to be teaching no kids. That ain't no cool stuff. To be teaching, to tell them kids, I dropped out of school in the 12th grade. Why? Why would you, why? Or then start saying, oh, this is the white man, it's college and all this for the white man. How? And then talk about Salamanca in Spain and Timbuktu and say we the first to everything. And then I say, well, if that's the case, why are we dissing academia? Because you don't have the aptitude to do these things and you settle and all you do is work a job and you don't know how to use your brain. And this all I be saying is we can't just put all of us in the same box like Moors is. All the Moors that you see in the world is brothers from prison. Is brothers with that radical stuff, and we don't have no scholars. I know Moors doctors and professors and lawgivers in real life, not no whole bunch of Moors that's on the internet. I graduated with 2 college degrees, and I'm from the city of Flint. I was the minister of 2 churches in the city of Flint, talking just like this. I moved all the way to Arizona, almost 3,000 miles away. Got my own temple in school, helped so many people, working ADHD, helped so many kids, no matter what their color is. That's why I say, man, social media has really, really done a game on us. That's all I'm saying. I'm like, come on, we don't even support nothing that's real. Just like my homie was on my TikTok the other day. He said, man, you got 5,000 people on here. If 5,000 people donate just $20 or $100, you give them a tax and receipt and give them literature, that's how you can have your temple sheet. He was like, what is people tripping on? He was like, you got all these people that follow you and they know your bio, everything in there. If everybody support, he was like, everybody know you will have it. And that's the thing. We gravitate to the caricature stuff. And that's how most Moors get caught up and following these publication companies, saying this person can nationalize you, saying that you can claim this and claim that. All these things. And then people be following the person that's doing the same thing that Michael Novak doing. Y'all know who Michael Novak is, right? So now you got the brother doing the same thing, saying the same stuff, riding around in rented Bentleys and stuff. It's like doing the same thing. And I'd be like, man, what's wrong with us, man? Why do we think we knowing who we are, it's attached to some money? All we got to do, somebody following this, or somebody talk about they some consulate general of Morocco, or they the president of Morocco. How you the president of Morocco over here in the United States? Like, come on, y'all. Like, really? And all these people live in places. I'll be hearing more talk about we don't pay taxes. We don't. Where you live? Tell me where you live. Tell me where you live where you don't pay taxes. Because I wait. And we can have that conversation all day. But I know you're going to lie. And then I'm going to look you up. I'm going to tell you right where you stay. And if you stay with a chick, which most of these Moors do, because they're not married, they don't have nothing. Because if they did, it'd be in their name. That's how you can't find them. They live with a chick. So, of course, you don't pay nothing. But I bet you she do. Of course you don't buy groceries because you ain't buying it, you ain't supporting it. But I bet you she do and she pay taxes. Everything taxed. You got a job right now, your check taxed. If you don't understand what I'm saying, if you don't file exempt and support your religious and charitable contribution of your choice, you giving all your money to Uncle Sam. Who? Everybody on here. Tell me I'm lying. You can't. That's how I know people would be cap. What? Cap. I can give everybody on here a cap gun. And I guarantee you, everybody that got a job, they work. You can be like, yep. Okay, because if you don't work, then what you do? If you're an entrepreneur, then you still paying taxes. How? Because you ain't supporting your religious and charitable contribution of your choice and get a tax exempt receipt. Because the whole thing is to give Uncle Sam less money and support your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. I bet you everybody on here that's not part of my ministry, I guarantee you, you pay taxes. And I guarantee you, you getting taxes took out your check. And I guarantee you, if you make a certain amount of money, if you don't have deductions, I'll give you an analogy. If you make 100,000, it don't matter if you donate 2,400 once a year or 1,200 once a year. That ain't gonna make no dent on your taxes because you make too much money. You got to at least give 10% to see a little anything. And then when you part of the temple in school, I'm going to give you in-kind service. And most people don't even know what in-kind service is. And that's how you build your infrastructure in your community. That's how you buy your temple and your school and the property in your area. And that's how you do ministry. And everybody get a tax exempt receipt. Just imagine if everybody understood that 10% that was given to Melchizedek, but your preacher don't understand who Melchizedek is. Just like your preacher won't tell you about all the spells in the Bible. It's a plethora of spells in the Bible, a plethora, but your pastor is not going to tell you this. And then they be like, well, how you know this, Sheik? Because I'm anointed and consecrated and I teach pastors. That's why. That's why. And I went to academia for it, and my heart is pure. That's why I can talk like this, and I'm an expert witness. That's why. Anybody that talking, any professor, I've done oral dissertations and written dissertations with professors 3 times over. That's over whole chairs of the theology department or the Judaic studies of Harvard. I told y'all I know a whole professor at Harvard. He wrote this book about what they call Jesus in the Talmud. When you hear a lot of these so-called Catholics and all that, and I said clearly y'all have no idea because they talk about Jesus like a dog in the Talmud. A lot of people not even initiated, religious people, Islam, Muslims, and Christian, you have no idea when I get into the Nabatean library and I start showing you all this stuff, it comes from some Jewish text. When I start writing and showing you Kabbalistically teachings, when I start showing you the real cipher, why they don't teach you this and why they want you to be on your knees forever. And only the enlightened ones, sons of Muslims, get this. And sons of Muslims, they ain't misnomering black men because they don't understand it. They ain't gonna teach it. Sons of Muslims is my European Masons. They all know what I'm talking about. That's why I said you can't come on here and act like I'm and disrespect me. Why? Because I know most of the Europeans, that's Scottish Rite Masons, and they sons of Muslims, and I have my own charter. That's why. The only people that don't like me is, I don't know. You done took an oath. That's why I'll be telling us, man, I'm like, dude, like, I really don't have no time to keep doing the Pied Piper stuff and turning down things that I can help other people that's not struggling. And when people be like, well, you would do that for money, I've been doing it for no money. I've been doing this stuff for no money, and I went to academia before I met everybody on social media. I used to be lecturing at the colleges, doing all this, and then I said, I'm gonna bring something back to my people. And I thought wrong. Why? Because our people don't like this. People have been sending me emails and friends, even people I know, like, man, if you was on here like Charleston White lying, if you was selling people ID cards talking about you and nationalize them, you would be a multi-millionaire. And my homegirl, like, he not gonna do no crap like that. People like, that man ain't finna do nothing. She like, I've been following that man for years. If he was like that, he would have been did that. Because I could have. I got too many emails in my phone that I keep when people asking me to nationalize them and make some ID, the travel ID, 500 a wop. I could have been did that. I could have been did that. Everybody know it. You know, I haven't done none of the sort. Don't have the passion to do none of the sort. So I really did. I thought I was going to be able to be one of the talented 10th to not only get the information and come back to my people and be righteous and don't be radical and teach from a place from love, from no biasness. We don't have to, my mother just said this yesterday. She said, son, I'm so tired of our people always thinking we got to be stamped by the other man. You see what the other man said about us, see. And here my mom, she said, you've been telling the people this forever. We don't need nobody else to be co-signing for us or putting a stamp on us. And you've been telling us. And when you see the other man, they'll be like, well, your brother been telling y'all this forever. Why we got to have the other man? And this is the excuse. Because, you know, if we bring the other man, it's more power. No, the other man telling you, your brother the stuff. Your brother giving you everything. Why? Because your brother his teacher. I done showed people all the buildings. No disrespect. Why should I show people buildings and ain't nobody gonna put no money in nothing? With all due respect, I get what people be saying, but I don't have the energy and the time to do it. You can do it yourself. Go on Land Bank. Go on Land Bank right now and pull it up. I told y'all, I'm not a gatekeeper. Go on Flint, Genesee County Land Bank. Go on there and pull up all the houses. Pull up all the houses for auction. I'm transparent with everything. I can show people all the stuff. If people ain't gonna put no money behind nothing, what's the purpose? I done got with people that say, oh, just give us a tax-exempt receipt. I just met a dude the other day. He said, bro, I spent $1,200 the other day, me and my homie at the club. He was like, here go $1,200. He was like, bro, I'm rocking with you. I'm rocking with you. So when people be saying what I should do, I already done it. And people, and a lot of people, they're like, man, you ain't got to show me nothing. That's when you get it, let me know. This is what I be telling people. Like, man, I've been courting people for so long. I've been dealing with people. They're like, man, you ain't got to show me nothing, brother. Here go the bread, because I've been seeing your work. People, you can go on Instagram, Facebook, damn it, TikTok. Look at the pictures, me getting these houses. We fixing them up. People can see I share on my Facebook page, just getting ready to be the next auction. Our people don't be into the know. This is what I'll be telling us. And if we part of community, everybody get a taxes and receipt. Everybody get a taxes and receipt. But we like to be had. We like to be played. And I'm saying we're not into the know. So I'm not talking about you, Noble, or nothing like that. And I know you know that I'm not. But when you say I should show people some of the buildings available in Flint, I always do. People can look them up. Just like these investors that I met, these alumni from Cleary University, because I got my undergrad from Cleary, I showed them all these abandoned churches in the city of Flint. Just the other day I was live, I said, it's another church. It was a Methodist church on Averill. Now on Averill, it used to be a school called elementary called Sobey Elementary. I used to go there as a kid. It's the Boys and Girls Club now. When you go down a little bit more, it's another elementary called Potter. When you get to that blinking light, you got a church on the right, which gonna be closed in a minute, and then you got another church on the left, which is the Methodist church, closed down. But then on the south side, you got about 4 or 5 churches. I'm from the north side. I'm from Patterson and DuPont, you know? So when you go up Patterson, before you get to McClellan, it's a big church. And right behind it, it's an old elementary school that's not occupied because none of the schools occupied no more in the city of Flint. It was called King Elementary School right behind it. And then right next to it, it's a parsonage. Then it's a big brick church on the corner. They want, what, 200-some thousand for that building. I said, we have 300 people donating only $100 a month. That come to a total of $360,000 cash. Now we're an organization. I make a bid on it, a cash bid, half, we own it. This is what I be saying. I know people just be talking. I know people just be talking and they don't put no money behind nothing. Why? Because I saw it in Arizona. I saw my professors, my mufti's been with me for where I've been showing them. I've been showing my brothers, when my brothers first met me, my professor and them, when I used to stay in Litchfield Park in Arizona, and I used to jog every day, I used to show people, I said, this is my Jewish, this is my professor, this is their church, their synagogue. And boom, then they bought the daycare, then they built the daycare center. Boom, then they built the elementary, whatever. Now they got a whole high school. Now they got a whole high school. Now all the houses around there they own through the church own them all. So when people be saying what I should do, I said, after I do it, now what? After I show everybody doing this, now what? Ain't nobody gonna put no money behind it. Ain't nobody gonna put no money behind it. And I give them a taxes and receipt to trust them. We trust the individual that said they gonna open up a school and misnomer black people gave this person millions of dollars. Ain't nobody donating nothing. People come on my page on TikTok every week on YouTube and don't give 75 cents. That's what but if I was scamming people, if I say, man, I'm finna go get me a Escalade and say, I'm finna just pop in Vegas and do like this person do and say, ready, action, and rent this, and I know where all the stuff is at. And rent Bentleys for a minute, just do commercials and do a Ponzi and a pyramid scheme and tell you to buy my program. I know how to do all that. I know how to do all that influencer stuff. I got the information. This is easy to do. These people not even smart as Bernie Madoff, but they target you. This is what I'll be telling us. I said, man, people don't want the real. People want fake. You said, you're right, brother. I'm new. What you say? Let me see what you said. You said, you're right, brother. I'm new to your teachings. I've been observing your lectures maybe 2.5 months now. Islam. Then you got to imagine people have been following me for 5 years. And when I talk that talk, I be meaning it. My homeboy, he was like, Sheik. He was like, this person been following you 5 years. He was like, this brother been following you for 5 years. This girl been following you 5 years. He said, wait a minute, give me a couple of days before I can see all these people that's been following for a minute. So he go on there, he be like, bro, these people on YouTube been following you for years. And then the same ones follow me on TikTok. They be like, oh man. He was like, bro, I'm just glad I know you. And when you done, ain't nobody gonna know when you done. He was like, people don't know that you're real. People don't know that professionals support you and you get taxes and receipts. I tell people, do a Google search of me. Google Reverend Khari Goodman, Minister Khari Goodman, Sheik Khari Goodman, and see what you get. Just see what you get. I bet you don't get nothing stupid. I bet you don't get nothing negative. I know how to take, man, when I was in Arizona, well, I stay in Arizona, I take 100 to 200 kids to all sporting events, pro sporting events, because I know how to solicit these companies. You know? This is what I tell people. I said, man, you can go on my YouTube channel and see what I've been saying from day one. From day one, I haven't changed. I haven't switched. I haven't did no gimmick, said, oh, I'm going to make you some ID. Now I'm selling you some fake. Hey, you can act like you an Amish person and you can lie and you can follow this. I don't have no fake badge on telling you this, that, and the other with all this fake stuff. And I'm selling you a lifestyle. I can't sell you no lifestyle. I want to teach you to be the best that you are. Because if you selling rocks, not dope rocks, but say rocks, or say if you selling chia, if you selling anything, I want you to be the best in what you're doing. I teach you how to be great. What? In your craft. In your craft, I teach you how to sharpen your tools, not change you, because there ain't nothing about you bad. The pendulum swings the same way left to the left as it does to the right. What we're teaching is balance. So I always ask people, what are you following me for? Not you. I always ask men this because we have unprotected sex with a woman in a day. And more has been following me for months and months. They'll be like, well, damn, are you going to donate to this brother? This brother got a whole library. Where you getting your books from? You don't have to ask what book. The brother is going to give you things how? Based on your vibration, because this is what he do. A teacher is going to teach. A map is going to be a map. If you come to my dojo, you don't tell a sensei, okay, when you going to teach on the Peon 5? Peon 5, you ain't even passed. You don't even know how to read the manual. You ain't even passed the prerequisites. You talk about some Peon 5. You don't even know how to tie your belt. You don't even know how to clean. You don't even know how to work with your hands, and you want to work with the weapons. You don't even know how to work with your hands and your feet. You gluttony. So before we even work on some moves, we got to work on balance and eating right and all that. It's prerequisites before we get here. And this is what I be saying. It's like, okay, I'm not saying you noble, but I'm giving you honesty. People have been following me forever. And then I ask people, what are you here for? I ask them what temple you go to. Now these people with, I'm Bay this, L this. And I say, what did you get your Bay and L? Like, what are we talking about? I'm talking to Moors. Oh, there ain't no temple in my city. Okay, well, you on my page. You see I got real brothers. We see we done have Moors balls. You see we done traveled all over. We getting ready to be in Puerto Rico. We own property. And so when a person say, I should show something, I've been showing it. Yeah, they do. Yeah, I tell you, I know them all. You said, tell the truth from my perspective. I can't imagine people have followed you for 5 years and you're not popping. People must hijack your lessons. Hey, they can't hijack nothing. You know, let me tell you why. Because only thing that sells is criminal behavior. I'm telling you. Only thing that sells is criminal behavior and caricature stuff. I'm telling you. So I know what we don't like, but I'm telling y'all the difference from academia. I'm known in academia worlds. I'm known in Arizona at the colleges. I'm known at GCU. I'm known at Arizona Christian Academy. I'm known at Peoria Community College. I'm known at a lot of the Masonic houses. I'm known at a lot of the libraries in Arizona. I get donations from professors and all this stuff that like what I'm doing. I have my own charter. I have my own fraternal order. I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. So what I be telling people is like, dude, I've turned things down. A lot of stuff I turned down from being academia, it was contingent on me shutting my social media down. If any of my muftis on here, I tell them this every time when I get an offer from the university. My noble, let me see, if my noble Malik Reed on here? Yeah, my noble Malik, I think my noble Malik Reed is on here. He'll tell you. You know, he'll tell you. You said, nah, brother, it's your resonance. My brother, ain't nothing else coming off you but the truth and sincerity. And sincerity. You said, that's why I can't say I can't imagine how somebody could be rocking with you for 5 years. Yep, I don't know neither. I done turned jobs down. I done read the job down from my muftis. I like, man, I can get the job for 150,000, but it's contingent on me shutting all my YouTube down. They was like, you teaching too much. They're like, the stuff that we're going to be teaching at academia, you can teach this in a week. When I teach private, all my muftis, no matter where their academic level or where their comprehension level was at before they got with me, I bet you it's on a doctoral level right now. I bet you their understanding is on a doctoral level. And if they talk to professors, they'll be amazed. You know? You know? You can ask any of my brothers. You can ask any of my brothers. And I said, they was like, man, we wouldn't be mad at you if you do that. But then if I do that, I won't have no time to do this. I'm just lucky to be able to have some other things going on and some investments, and I was able to set up my own counseling things from jobs that I was doing. And the parents was like, no, we'd rather just pay you for charging this insurance. I'm dealing with people that can afford it, you know, because we all can afford it, but we spend our money on things that's meaningless. So when I'm in Arizona right now, I set up stuff. I'm not even in Arizona. All I be doing is Skype and Zoom with these people, children. The same way you'll work for a company and they'll be giving you dollars, you know, pennies. I set myself up where I can do a little work and be great. So imagine I have my brick and mortar where I'll be able to teach our children, you know? You know, because I'm not no street rogue. I told you I graduated from Cleary University with a bachelor's degree in business management with a minor in marketing and sales and nonprofit business startup. I got a dual master's degree from Grand Canyon University in first century history and religion and linguistics and Christian counseling. Come on, man. And I've been in the laboratory. I was able to cross-study, look under the microscopes, and I'm part of the Philosophical Research Society. That's why I'd be like, come on, man. Like, what else can I do? And I've gathered and compiled a plethora of books. I've gathered and compiled 20 books about the science. You can go on my YouTube page or any of my company pages and be like, man, this man did write 20 books about all the science. I make it simple. I got books over here. I got books over here that I gathered and compiled. I got libraries that have changed the whole world. I gathered and compiled. I took books 400 pages and compiled them to 20 pages for everybody can understand the science. My library is intensive. Is how can I say? It's more, how can I say? Scholastic than Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge. Why? Because I know the professors and the librarians there. And they say, you have so much information. They be like, wow, how did you gather this? How did you compile this? I've been doing this for years. I did the same thing Google did. Google spent $25 million converting books to ebooks and PDFs and taking chapters out. I did the same thing. But I also have physical books. I have like 3 storage units with books stacked to the ceiling. I started showing people when I first got started. If I show y'all what my physical libraries look like in the state of Arizona, my 3 storage units, y'all be like, holy camole. And then if I show you my digital library, it's crazy in a good way. And then I provide this stuff for donations. This is what I be saying. I be like, my people lost due to a lack of knowledge. All the turbines, everything I have on, I provide. You don't have to go to Amazon, nowhere to get nothing. I have my own web pages, own companies. Hold on, this is my Empress. Hey, babe. Yep, I'm gonna call you right back as soon as I'm done, okay? I'm about to be done in a second, because I got about like 20 minutes more. All right, love you. Yeah. What you say, Noble? Because we just building, because I'm done with my teaching. You said that Mazzaroth is deep, my brother. You're the only person that I've ever alluded to that. Because most people ain't connected to the science. And then when I show the same thing in the Quran, when I break down all the astrological signs in the Quran and break down the signs and symbols, you'll be like, man, I told you it's just a higher level of wisdom, and can't nobody deny it. Can nobody deny it? Can't nobody on here deny what I'm saying? No one. No one. That's what I know. You know? You have anything on, watch this. You said on who? I tell you, I got a whole library. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this, Noble. Let me see. Watch this. Let me put something in. Hold on. I want to read what everybody's saying. Let me see something. I'm just going to show you something. And then you tell me. You tell me. Because I don't have to say too much on this show. And then you tell me. I told y'all, man, it's nothing no one's going to have that an educator, a scholar don't have in their database. And I'm not acting like a know-it-all. You talking about this right here? I got a plethora of this, just one. And then I teach what it's all about. Edgar Cayce, Neville Goddard, like Neville Goddard, everybody called him heavy, but Neville Goddard was learned by the Ethiopian rabbi, Abdullah. I guarantee you. And in the book, The Chosen Ones, I'll show y'all this already. Everything is there. You talking about this piece of wisdom? It's more. It's a plethora more. Let me see, let me go. All I do is pull up certain names in my library and they all be there. Why? Because I already lectured this. You talking about this? Talking about this? I mean, I know that's what you're talking about, you know? And so I tell people I deal with the wisdom. Edgar Cayce, Neville Goddard, all those so-called mystic, European mystics, it's our science. Yeah. That's why the Masonic, watch this. Now let's build. I got a little bit more time. All y'all got to do is hit my bio and give a donation. Hit my bio. Everybody that's on here, hit my bio and give a donation. And then I'll be giving y'all stuff. You could be like, man, Sheik, that was me that donated. Anything that works, I'll be giving y'all things. Just like just like y'all ever heard of Phil Donahue, not the talk show host, Phil Donahue. A lot of people made out of, but I'll be telling people, I'm like, man, it's way much more than what we don't know. Have anybody ever heard of Pascal Beverly Randolph or Manly P. Hall? At the Philosophical Research Society, which I'm a part of, it's a whole part of the library dedicated to Manly P. Hall. All my European colleagues are sons of Muslims, but the misnomer Mason, Prince Hall Mason, PHO, PHA, they'll call themselves a widow son. And I'll be like, I'm not gonna argue with nobody. Do anybody know anybody know when I talk about, I forget my boy name. I have to pull it up. Hold on, let me see. Let me see something. I'm telling you, we have an extensive library. Let's see. Of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You know, it's a lot of things that we just not astute to. We're not introduced to, like Bible spells. It's so much stuff. What you mean Bible spells? Okay, I'm not gonna argue with no one. You know, I don't argue with no one about anything that I know most people don't know. I don't do that. And then I ask everybody on here every week, hit the bio and give a donation and your email, and then I can start showing you things. I can start showing you things like the esoteric knowledge, you know, fundamentals of esoteric knowledge. I can start showing you real things when people be saying stuff and we can fact check it right then, you know, with wisdom and understanding. That's what we're supposed to do, you know? But I'm always going to show you truth and falsehood. You know, I have to. I wouldn't be the man I am if I didn't show my brothers and be like, no, don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in that. It's things that I can show y'all to get you to a level that what they use for power. And the only reason why I know this because I'm initiated to the wisdom. I'm telling my brothers right now, it's a level of wisdom that nobody on Instagram is going to know. And if they do know, they ain't going to tell because they took an oath not to tell the truth. I'm telling you, and it ain't no disrespect to no one. Yeah, I got all that, man. It's no disrespect to nobody. You know, it's a plethora of wisdom. White cargo, the white slave market, they were white and they were slaves. It's so much. It's so much commentary. Just like when the Islamic teachings from a Sufi perspective and from the constellations and all that, which they're going to agree, you know, like it's so much esoteric wisdom or higher science that I can show our brothers and sisters that they teach in their private houses while we sit up here and argue about man-made religion because we're not introduced to it. And then our scholars and our sheiks and our sages, they don't get the credit. Why? Because I see what our people, what they like. I'm telling you. All Manly P. Hall, you know, books and stuff. When I show people, I'm like, this is just lower, more science. But a lot of people don't have the eye to see this stuff. You know? A lot of people don't have the eye to see this stuff. I can talk about so much stuff. I'm like, Europeans wrote so much about Moorish history. The Moors' last stands. When I talk about Peter Moon and all these other, and and Sacred Drift of Islam by Peter Lambert Wilson. And they be like, well, who are these Europeans? That's their pen name. That's their pseudonym. Because when they go against the church, they have to write in a certain fashion, which is their pen name. Just like all J.A. Rogers books. I have a full library. All J.A. Rogers books, all Sheikh and Diop books, I have them all. Every one, with all due respect. And I just don't, it ain't about no books. It's just not about no books. It's about understanding. It's about academia. So when someone telling you it's not, you can say, yes, it is. And how they use things for power. Our people really have no idea. And when I say my library, man, I know my library is extensive because I help people. When people be saying things, brother, here go esoteric Islam right here. And so when the person just be talking, I'll let them talk, and then I come from science, and then I'll rest my case, and it can't be no rebuttal. And the only rebuttal is going to be from a charlatan. That's a criminal. It's not, I told you, man-made religion is a joke. When I break down the esoteric Islam, can nobody say poo diddly about nothing because I already done broke it down. I already showed people the signs, the symbols, and what it really means. I got family that call themselves Muslims. I got family that call themselves Nation of Islam Muslims. Then I say, well, do you know what the Arab slave trade was? When I started breaking this stuff down, I say, Muhammad, all that stuff, you have no idea. Like nobody, everything is made up stuff with no proof. The mystery abbreviated letters, the Huruf al-Makata, and I'm not even going to go all into the science because I've done it already. When I talk about the letter Alf, I'll just give you this little tittle, Noble, for you can really understand what I'm saying because I already done this before. This is when I say why I can't get my brothers to a higher level of wisdom. Because I already done it, and all the rest of them coming to it. Our people are going to be left behind. It's mystery letters comprised of the Arabic alphabet mentioned in certain tables that I give. And though they don't appear in the alphabetical order in the Quran, but are actually stated as prefixes to certain chapters of the Quran. And throughout the Muslim history, there have been many theories proposed to justify their existence in the Quran. A few have suggested that they were initials of the scribes who had written down the dictation of those chapters, while others commented on them to be some especial mystical significance which is known only to God himself. The letters appear in the Quran successively in a certain fashion. I'm not going to share the fashion because I don't have to. That's why I tell people, support your brother. People have been following me for years and never give a donation. Why not? Tell me why not. But watch this, brother, as we proceed. I got a little bit more and I'm out. The most prominent Muslim scholars on the interpretation of the Quran, Allama Abdullah Yusuf Ali, explained about the abbreviated letters in his commentary. What you say, Noble? What you say? Amen. The prophet was a bad man. He was the by mother, and he was the prophet was the European. He was talking about the European system. You see the European system. You say anything, Noble? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, their presence is not inconsistent with the character of the Quran as a plain book. But there are 29 chapters of the Quran that mention the abbreviated prefixes. The 14 letters out of 28 alphabets of Arabic language are used in different combinations. And those prefixes, among which 2 pairs are homophonic, i.e. different glyphs, which the same sounds will come out, hence making them 12 sound characters in total. Here we go, that 12, so-called 12 disciples, 12 constellations, because each of the homophonic pair of letters here act as one character. And then when you propose and when I show you certain discussions and certain science that these 12 characters appear in a definite order in the Quran, which corresponds to what? The 12 astrological signs. And such that the features of the prefix signatures as astrological signs form the subject of what I'm talking about. And in order, these abbreviated prefixes summarize the chapters themselves, and letters in the order of appearance in the Quran, it represent the 12 astrological signs. And these letters are, when I do the lecture, when I done the lecture, because I've done it already, I break it down. When I said I just do Alf, the Alf or the Aries. The Alf appears as a prefix in the beginning of the second chapter of the Quran, and therefore it is the first letter of the Quranic sequence. Astrologically, 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 you know, yeah, they don't have no idea about fire. They don't have no, like I said, I'm not arguing with no one, be wasting my time. On the second chapter of the Quran, and therefore it is the first letter of the Quranic sequence. Astrologically, it refers to the sign of Aries, as it signifies the subject of warfare in the Quran. Also, the fighting of wars was proclaimed for the first time in a chapter of the Quran. You will see these different Islam Muslims off tradition. Oh, red was this, red was that. Man, gone, man. Which is a kind to the archetype of the sign Aries. The Quran says warfare is what? Ordained for you, though it is hateful unto you. But it may happen that ye hate a thing which is good for you, and it may happen that ye love a thing which is bad for you. Allah knoweth ye not. Allah knoweth, ye knoweth not. Ayat 2:16. Now, when we talk about scholarship, it's scholars like Muhammad, Marduk, Pickthall, written in some of his commentary, all suggestions that the contrary notwithstanding, it seems probable that the whole of this surah was revealed during the first 4 years after the Hijrah, you know? I don't feel no way about no Moorish American government. What Moorish American government? But remember, the Alf is also mentioned in the chapter 3 of the Quran, where it says, and remember when thou sittest forth at daybreak for thy housefolk to assign to the believers their position for the battle. Allah was here, north, Ayat 3:121. So when you ask me about, because we got to get our, how do I feel about the Moorish American government? What Moorish American government? Tell me. Tell me what Moorish American government, and I'll wait. And who put these people in position, and how long is their tenure? So what Moorish American government you talking about? Please, let's be real on what we're talking about. What Moorish American government? Because I don't feel no way about something that is nothing. That's why I tell people, don't ask me how I feel. I'm crazy when I know it comes to Fugazi. So what Moorish American government? Once again, who the Moorish American government? If you know one, tell me, and then I can tell you how I feel about it. Who is the Moorish American government? I'll wait. Is there any, no, who is the Moorish American government? Is there any language that is, ain't nothing most powerful. Nothing had, nothing had vowels. If people listen to what I'm saying and come to class, that's why I said, if a person just asks questions and not, I said, they all the same language, per se. When you talk about ancient Paleo, so-called Arabic, they really all the same. When you think about these things, when you start seeing things, if I say Shalom Alaikum, if I say Shalom Alaikum, what do that mean in Arabic? What's the same thing? Salam Alaikum. Same thing. Shalom Alaikum. What do that mean? And then the response would be like Alaikum Shalom, right? No disrespect. I'm saying it's the same thing. We got caught up in that. And then when I get into the Nabatan library, it's a wrap. When I get into the Nabatan library and I show you that we've been hood weak, we've been played, and I'm from Flint, Michigan. When people be talking about some Fire Muhammad and all this, during the time, Fire Muhammad, David Fire, whatever you want to say, let me tell y'all, that was during the time the Watchers. That was during Rudolph. And a lot of that stuff that you think is original, it come from the Watchtower stuff. The Red Book for the Lost Nation of Islam, that come from the World Almanacs. I don't care how nobody feel. And then I'll show you the Quran that these people study. It's like, dude, we don't have to play no games. You know, we don't have to play no games. But when a person asks me something, when they said the Moorish government, I say, tell me who the Moorish government. Just like a person say, well, who's this official and who's that? And they've been appointed based off the people. You ask me a question, I ask a question back to you. Who is the Moorish government? Because you asked me a question, and you went right to something else. You asked me, how do I feel about the Moorish American government? And I said, what Moorish American government? Because everybody, you said, right, them dudes bugging. Thank you, because that's what I'm saying. You said the Moorish American government, and I said, what Moorish American government? Okay, then when something happened to you, what court you going to? What court? I hope you don't get on the internet and tell these people your case. And for what? You done wasted your time. You don't admitted guilt. The same thing happened to them Rise of the Moors. I told you, when they get on social media and then you talk about you at some Moors court, and then the powers that be got all the information to use against you. Remember, you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. No, it ain't no real thing. And that's why I ask adults, why do we think it's real? Why? Because we let somebody on the internet say they some consulate general of Morocco. And and a person live in Massachusetts or Maryland. How are you a consulate general of Morocco in the States? How? Like how? Because somebody said it? Because somebody bought some badges off Amazon and they walk around with a stick? How long is your tenure? Who voted these people in? We can't be that idiotic. I told y'all the religious laws trump everything. I tell people, your brother can convert with me if he give a donation. If people gave donation, I'll converse with you. I don't be asking for much. All my information on there. That's why I said they stay away because they want to be criminals. Your brother can converse with me, give a donation, I'll talk to him one-on-one. Matter of fact, we ain't even got to talk one-on-one. We can talk right in public in front of everybody and we can see how crazy these people be. And then they be upset, they be slobbing out the mouth and say, where's you getting that rhetoric from? Where? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. We won't do it. I tell people, give a small donation. It's so much bogus brothers out here, man. That's the problem. My brother, so many bogus brothers. Let me tell y'all something. Only people that get hustled is people that want to get hustled. We are too grown. We are too grown to get caught up. No way. The only people get caught up is criminals. Why? Because you feel you can file something, or I'm going to cancel corporate debt, or I ain't got to pay child support, or I can reverse this, or adverse this, or I can file these notes. All this stuff you know is not real. You know it. So when people be saying these brothers, who? Let's be specific. Who we talking about? What people we talking about so we can put a stamp on it so other people don't get caught up in the fugazi, but people don't do it. Because in our community, oh, it's hating. It ain't hating. It's keeping people from going into a burning house. Just like JT Pocket Watchers. He's the financial advisor. All them liars, they've been on there. I told people, come on, man. We ain't gonna say who it is. So what people? Because if we talking about people, that means certain individuals follow these individuals. So let's call it out. But most people not. Because you said it's so much bogus brothers out here, man. That's the problem. My brother, so many bogus brothers. Who? And see, and nobody will say because they afraid. Who we talking about? Who we talking about? Who we talking about? See, nobody will say nothing. That's what I'll be saying. I'll be like, well, gone. Social media has became a joke. And that's what I'll be saying. Brothers be whack. And I ain't saying you or nobody. I'm saying if we saying it's brothers, what brothers we talking about? Who people been following? And I said, every different Muslim pretend on this, they're going to believe something else. Sunni Muslims don't. They believe in the sky God. Nation of Islam Muslims, they believe in the prophet. They don't believe in no one sitting on no throne. Sunni Muslim wear their garments. Nation of Islam, they don't. The Nation of Islam book, you see who the book is by. It's certain things, every religion, just like Christians, they all got the same book. You got Baptists, you got God and Christ, all different. You know what you say, no? You said, no, brother, it be the things come up on your algorithm, for instance. We will deal with you. You're going to get similar. That's what you say? That's what I was saying about, hold on. That's what I was saying about the Moorish American brothers, the government brothers, that the algorithm stuff. Yeah, that's trash. And if people want to help us get there, we can. It ain't no such thing as a sovereign citizen. A sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. You can't be no sovereign and no citizen at the same time. So if they saying Moorish Science Temple of America, I give y'all the state booklet for a small donation. The 1099 is no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. The 1099, you see Moors got some plate, they hold up, this is our Moorish American place. The 1099 ain't no trust fund. The 1099 is a religious affidavit. I got the letter, I done read it, I done showed y'all from the CCRD, the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds. You can get it with an official stamp. I don't know what people be talking about. And I say, I'm okay with being holded back, like I said, because I'm not here to be an influencer. I'm here for the people to share me on their page and to share it, because I can just go, I have the opportunity I can be done with this. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm telling my brother. I got muftis, I got brothers, I can be done with this. I enjoy doing it, and I ask people for small donations. You said, no cap, brother, told me I can get a passport. I was like, look up Sheik because you going to go to jail. Yeah, of course. You know, all of them know who I am. Get a passport from what? Remember, Moss Duff got in trouble for that fake world passport. You're going to get a passport with Michael Jackson, Aaliyah, all these people in it. You might as well go get a real passport with your feds on it and with your your Elder Bay on it if you want a passport. Why do people think that stuff means something? I don't get it. Like, a lot of stuff is meaningless. They are showing you how to be a criminal. Just get a passport. And the reason why you wear your fez, if you navigate, you're not no Moroccan because it's your religious headdress. You got to know how to navigate, and you can annex your El and Bay to your name. Your last name ain't no slave name. You annex your El and Bay, and you're not doing a status correction. A correction of how? You obey your mother and your fathers. You annex your El and Bay to what? Your family crest or your coat of arms. But people don't want to be educated. Everybody wants things for free. So when people say, well, you're not this, that, and the other, no, I can be everything. How? If the people that's been following me, share me. If the people that's dealing with me, donate. We don't got to worry about the world. We can worry about us. We can build our physical temple, our library. Everybody will be in to know. Your children will be into the know. But this is the same repeated thing. People got this stuff from this conscious community. I know where it's coming from. I know, and it's the same thing that Michael Novak was telling everyone. It's the same thing that these Moors talk about. They could now, the European do this stuff. I know just as many Europeans on social media that be lying to y'all as so-called Moors. So you should know it ain't no special Moorish science. You said, I like that you use the prophet teachings, not the MSTA name. I ain't no Moorish science temple. I'm part of the temple. I told y'all, when I saw the semantics, when I saw certain people from the temple, and he's passed, Marcel Warden L., peace be among his spirit. But when people be talking that garbage, and then you talk about Moors don't pay taxes, and then I can look these people up, and all my muftis know you get in trouble for tax evasion, and then they make an example out of you. I'm supposed to be the leader of people, per se. I'm not going to teach nobody nothing and then plead myself to the courts. No. So you can't deny the prophet's teachings because everybody can research the prophet teachings. What people don't understand is a person can take that and connotate it and twist it up with their own dogmatic perspective with all this paper terrorist stuff, which Bobby Hemmett told people in 95 what was going to happen. Everybody be like they love Bobby Hemmett. And then when I showed a lecture of Bobby Hemmett telling y'all all this in 95 when the Twin Towers crashed, everybody be like, oh, well, I don't believe what Bobby Hemmett said. You see? And here it is. And that's what I be saying. Thank you for telling the truth. You said, here it is. I'm 47, about to be 48. I ain't going for no okie doke. How can a person be following that crap on Moorish science? I'm getting ready to be 50. And I keep telling people, you can't be this old, that illiterate in the hippocampus. You can't be. That's why I said, that's why my teaching is not popular. Why? Because we got individuals up in age that's doing this crazy stuff. So I don't blame the young babies. Why? Because they seeing the old people doing this. So they think it's some attainable. Why? Because they see the old people doing it, and they went to jail and lost their lives yet. So they think it's something attainable. And when they come do it, they get examples made out of. And then when they hit the elders up, the ones that they saw do it, they don't know what they're talking about because they're dealing with fictitious names. So it's a wrap. You know it, and I know it. This is what I be telling people. It's all fugazi. And don't nobody want to tell the truth. These people, 48, telling you to squat in the house, telling you to drive without no license and do all that. Okay, then what? Now what? Will you do that? Now what? Oh, well, I don't have no insurance. And when I put my car in drive, I'm traveling. When you put that car in the D, you driving. You're not traveling. Like, a lot of stuff is meaningless. And we waste our time. There's no community. There's no community. So what is brothers talking about? That's why I said people don't like what I'm saying, because people, once they know something, then they start going off on the deep end, talking about a whole bunch of secret meeting on Jekyll Island. Man, this man just got pulled over without no license, and you come over here talk about some secret meeting on Jekyll Island? Semantics. I know semantics. Nobody coming to me with no trash. I don't care how old you are. I'm going to look at you in your face and tell you gone somewhere. And people don't want, I don't care where you at. I'm gonna tell you like this. I'll pop up in anybody's city and be like, okay, well, let's sit with with the prosecutor attorney, since you some lawgiver or you know something, and I guarantee you they won't show up. I bet you I can. Every time. I bet you nobody can shut us down. I guarantee you. And I bet you anything I teach, I can teach this in the prisons. And the CEOs be like, man, when y'all get out, listen to this brother. Don't get caught up in these people y'all been listening to talk about you some sovereign citizen and it's some Morris law and some consular courts and all this Zodiac law trash. Talk about Moore sold us out, man, and that's why I be like, who? I said it's Africans killing Africans. It's brothers in Crips and Bloods that's killing each other. Who sold us out? That's an excuse. What we say, oh, the Moors sold us out. You okay? Well, give me some history. I know what they're talking about. King Leopold. King Leopold used the Fez as part of his army regiment in the Congo, the same way they did in Italy, the same way Hitler used the Fez, the same way Hitler regiment was under Islam. Research it. That's why I be laughing at people. I be like, dude, we have no idea of what we talking about. It's an excuse. Oh, the Moors killed this. The Moors killed this. Oh, man, gone somewhere. Oh, the Moors killed this. The Moors. Man, you have no idea. Leopold used the Fez in the Congo as part of his army uniform. And he was looking for black gold. You know, the same way they did Patrice Lumumba. Remember? How they assassinated Patrice Lumumba? They couldn't assassinate Patrice Lumumba. How his own people had to turn on him. Duh. Like, this is what I be saying about us. We lazy. We some of the laziest people. Yes, our own people turn on us when the man come and put some power and dangle a little morsel in front of you. You can't, when people talk about, oh, the Moors, these are traitors, what Moors? Tell me what Moors traded. Tell me any history. And I'll show you right now, talk about the Arab slave trade. Were they slaving brothers right now in the name of Allah, right now in Africa? Where I read the Bukhari Hadith and show you, and it names all Muhammad slaves. It names all Muhammad slaves. And they celebration, one of their major celebrations is when they go to the continent of Africa and get misnomered black slaves. Just like if you ain't a Jew, they call you Goyim. I'd be like, man, go on with that crap. I'd be like, you're not historical. Most of these people are not historical. It's like Crips and Bloods. That's what they do to us. When I take them to the Netherlands and I saw them Swarty Pyre or Black Pete, I'd be like, man, that's why I don't argue or waste my time with people on social media. And you say, yep. And when I give them facts, they try to say, well, I'm a M-U-U-R and M-O-O-R is R from Africa. Oh, man, tomato. Okay, so let's deal with Gostin, Empress Gostin, Tunic El Bey of the Washita Young D.I. Moors. I got the book. I bet you won't be confused then. Use more interchangeably. M-U-U-R, M-O-O-R, M-O-H-R. That's why I be like, man, I ain't arguing with people because they all Berbers. This is what I be telling people. We all Amazigians. See, we playing semantics. We free. We Amazigians. Most of our brothers haven't done enough research. And then being in academia. This is all TikTok stuff. What people talk about is no scholarship. Everything people saying is the stuff that you got off TikTok or off somebody's page, not peer-reviewed scholarly research that you can take and be like, man, we rolling with this. Why? Because this is what it is, and everybody agree to it. No matter if they European, Albion, Trelodite, especially if they Masons, European Masons, they're going to agree with what I'm saying. Why? Because I got their charter, and they have to obey all Muslims. These is facts, and they know this more as history. Man, they play a game. All Masons play a game. In the Bible, Jabal, Jablum, and Jubilim, they had a jubilee, and they scattered haram of beef. You know? Yeah, the return of the ancient ones. That's why I'll be like, man, I got all the books. I turn to ebooks. I have a full library. You can get these stuff from me for small donations. And when you're part of our community, you get a tax receipt to claim on your taxes. When you get fezzes and turbans and tunics, all this stuff for me. So I have a full library. So when people just be talking, like I'm on my other website, my professor on here. He listening to everything I'm saying. Yeah, Return of the Ancient Ones. Yeah. And read it, which most people ain't even read the whole book. They just like looking at pictures. They'll look at the front page, and I'll be telling people, read it all, which they can't, because they don't have the aptitude or the time. They like to look at pictures or magazines. I'm like, dude, you talking out the side of your neck. How? Because the book that you have is going to explain everything that I'm saying. That's how I know people don't read. I know people collect things. It's called Sudoku. It's a Chinese word called Sudoku, where people just be collecting stuff. Yeah, it's a book by Empress Verdice. Yeah, it's the book by Empress Verdice. Yeah, yes. That's why I be laughing. I'd be like, dude, when I talk about the Louisiana Purchase, everybody be saying, oh, we this, we this, we this. I said, no, we all of that. We all of that. And you let people draw a line down your back. You let that from the idiotic stuff. Yeah, I got the Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. I got the books. I got everything that's going to show. I don't care if you in Egypt. I don't care if you in the Netherlands. When we dealing with Swarty Pyatt, still or more. When you're dealing with Black Athena, all the science that the European, when you dealing with Lewis and Clark, when they pinpoint their holdings, when you're dealing with One World Tartarians, when you're dealing with David McRitchie, the ancient and modern Britons, still Moors. When you reach that level, you need all of it. Why? You need all of it. Because a lot of person that read something and then, okay, let me tell you why you must read everything. Because I can read something and then I say everything I said is not true. And if you get that and don't get the rest of it, that's your fault. And the person said, damn, you ain't even read the whole book. Because the brother said that, and just in the preface, he said all this and he said everything and the rest of the book is not true. And then the person said, well, I read this, woo, 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 because you ain't get it. Just like in the little green book with these brothers being criminals, it said for education purposes only. More mean, I can't just break it out. It'll take a class because more mean a lot, depending on the spelling. Amor, Amorai, Amor, or Mordecai, Mordine. It means a lot depending on the context. It can mean a plethora of things. I'll give you an analogy like this. Negrito, black is negrito in Spanish. Black is negrito in Spanish. Black is negrito in Spanish. If more meant black, you would call yourself a black. In the 1599 Geneva Bible, then they call you a blackamoor, describing the you of that Moor in that region. They call you a blackamoor. In Jeremiah, get the 1599 Bible and ask it, where do it talks about blackamoors in it? And then you will see what it's saying. And then you will start piecing things together. Like, don't nobody have to believe me. Don't nobody have to believe me or believe anything I'm saying. I did this in academia. That's why I be laughing. I'm like, dude, I never get fact checked by nothing on social media. Everything I'm saying is going to be valid. Why? Because I'm the fact checker. No matter nobody like it or not, I guarantee you. And why we don't like our brother, that's a fact checker, that's anointed and consecrated. Why all our good people have to be dead? You know? It's so much. And then even with Gaddafi, I always have to be all the way proficient and all the way there. Yeah, people only like Gaddafi because what they saw. Gaddafi didn't like, remember, it was always the what? The death of the Black Messiah. Because when those people fought in his regime, those people in that poor area, they thought that they was going to have something, freedom, and get nothing. So I know what be put in front of our face, but I know people haven't really been ingested in it because they're not introduced to the wisdom. When all those certain melanated people that got in Gaddafi regiment, those melanated African brothers, they went right back to their poor communities. And they was looked at as Negroes. Flat out. I don't know what people be talking about. Just like J. Edgar Hoover, they wrote The Death of the Black Messiah. This is what it is. That's what I keep telling my people. I'm like, listen, man, we right here. And if people like the teachings, all they got to do is donate. If brothers want to share the wisdom and talk to their brothers, we can do it. But I know our brothers operating on ego, not wisdom, and all that stuff can be destroyed. You know? Like I say, I'm not going to talk about books on Moorish warriors per se. I have a whole library. Because when you're talking about Moorish warriors, what do you mean about Moorish warriors? That's all. A lot of stuff that we ask is not, or that's like, I'll give you an analogy. If they say, well, you looking up something and you looking up something in a database, that's like if you're looking up something in Google, you have to be, how can I say, specific. So when we talk about Moorish warriors per se, what we talking about, how can I say, certain armies. You know, we can talk like, were we talking about Granada or are we talking about certain things when people were saying certain people on the internet and they talk about they from the Sharifian, they say they are Sharifian officer. And I say, man, that's some Ottoman Empire stuff. So I ask people specifics to give me a little bit more ammo so I can say what we're talking about. Because I can go to I'll give you an analogy. You say, yes, sir, like the Carthaginians. Okay, well now the Carthaginians is the Phoenicians. When I talk about General Barca of the Punic Wars, I lecture this when I said Africa wasn't named after a European. I lectured this so many times on YouTube, and I always bring these things to a forefront when I talk about the Punic Wars. When I talk about Africa wasn't named after Publius Cornelius Scipio. I've lectured this, and I do this in academia, and they were like, yep, he sure did. So when we be asking things, I already done it. I'll be hoping people be a part of it so I can give you the history for you can touch it and you can give it to your children. You know, because a person can ask me a lot of stuff, which is fine, but you should want to know it. But the Carthaginians is the Phoenicians. We dealing with General Barca. This is what I'm saying. This is what I've had the pleasure to do. And then you can have, if my brothers and sisters are willing to donate just a small fraction and get taxes and receipts, your library will be full because I've done all the work. I went in debt for what I'm talking about. Well, to be honest, I'll be honest, I didn't really go in debt. I'm part of a certain community to where my schooling was free. Come on, man. We know who these people are. Come on, man. I'm not going to sit up here and ask things and we know, you know. All due respect. And I say, hit my Cash App. I mean, I don't got Cash App, but hit my bio and give a donation. You know? You know? That's all. Remember, words and names are synonymous to things, right? 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 What you say? I'll give you this. When people talk about things just like the Amazigians, and they talk about just like when we talk about the Anunnaki, and the Anunnaki is nothing but the Iberians. We like Zachariah Stinson come up with that fake stuff. Zachariah Stinson is not no scholar in that field. The Anunnaki is the Iberian. Every European will tell you, it's a Greek restaurant out here. My homies from Russia, they got pictures on the wall of the so-called Anunnaki. I got pictures of it to showing you. They'll tell you, they're like, well, that's all animal figures are nothing but pious hieroglyphs. They were like, that's you more. You know, but the Etruscans, if that's who you ask me about, let me see if that's who you see. Entrcaens. Yeah, well, they say they were the highly advanced indigenous civilization that flourished in ancient Italy. So, okay, them was Moors. So I can show you when the police got the one little gangster and he laughing and he like, y'all, all your women pregnant by those, niggas, the whoop, of y'all Moors, just like the Black Knight. It's the movie that's showing you all this, what I'm saying, you know? Western Umbria and Northern Lazio between the 8th and the 3rd centuries. You know, they were master engineers and things. But when I talk about Al and Ganglis, we talk about in Spain. When we talk about in Spain, so when we talk about Italy, Spain. When we talk about the Moors that ruled Spain, we can deal with J.A. Rogers, and we can deal with, I forget the European that wrote the Moors in Spain, And we're not gonna talk about Al Andalius, and we can just trump everything and be like, oh, yeah. So names, words are synonymous, and it can mean some of the same history. We just let people play Crips and Blood with us and try to what? Draw a line down our back. And I'll be like, no, this is the same people. No, this is the same people. No, this is the same people. Like what J.R. Rogers, 101 amazing facts about the Negro. And then you can see the same people in other books. You'd be like, oh, those are the Moors in Spain, which the so-called Klan, all they attire is about. The so-called Black Knights and Andalius, in Spain. It ain't no disrespect. Al Andalius. Y'all know who I'm talking. Everybody know what I'm saying. I even did PowerPoint presentations on this stuff. Look, here go one of the PowerPoint presentations that I teach kids. When they be like, why nobody teach us this? I said, because they can't. They took an oath. They took an oath not to teach you. And they be like, well, how do you know this? The AL-ANDALUS. You know? When I talk about Ibn Battuta, y'all know who Ibn Battuta is? Anybody know who Ibn Battuta is? It's a lot that people don't know. So when people be saying things, they be like, this us. I said, dude, yes, but what about this? What about this? What about this? What about this? And I encourage my people to come to class. I really do. For I can show you maps. I can show you certain things. I can show you what the cardiographers wrote. When I show you that Judah had a whole bunch of names, Artega, Benin, you know what I'm saying? Judah, Quota, you know, all these different names, Benin, you know, all this stuff, historical education. And I just challenge my people to come to class and help us build something so we can teach in the right way, you know, and we can have a real brotherhood. So I've been on here for a few hours. I got to get off of here. I'm about to relax. But like I said, man, anything that y'all need, I'm here. Let's start treating each other right. And it's a way of wisdom. But the only people that's hustling us is our own people. The only people on social media that's lying to us, telling you can file this and file that, is these caricatures. And they just took the identity of Michael Novak. I'm telling you. And that man doing the same thing that Michael Novak doing, y'all. Selling you a fake dream, selling you a fake lifestyle. It's a pyramid scheme or a Ponzi scheme. And I blame all the people that got them on a podcast. And it's called payola. They just got these people on here because they got a little you think motion. So these people put them on the podcast with all that criminal behavior. And you can file this and you can file this. Well, why nobody on these podcasts filed the stuff? Why nobody ask the people that's on the podcast, are you taking the information that this man on your podcast giving you? No. No. Just like I told y'all, all that Parker stuff, all that real estate stuff is fake. I told y'all that. Now what happened? Everybody want to put on their Muslim garments and ask for forgiveness. And I'm like, no. So you only people you conning is your own people. Like, come on, man. Any questions, man? Any questions? I thank y'all for listening to me for 2 hours. I thank my muftis. 2 hours is nothing compared to a lifetime that we've been lied to. It doesn't. And right now, today, I think we can make a decision and we can do some good things. All my information is my bio. And I just ask people to share the teachings. If you're not comfortable giving a $10 or $20 donation and getting literature and building your library, all I ask you to do is hit me up and say peace. That's all I ask you to do is come to Sunday school and adapt class and be my private guest on StreamYard and share the information if you don't want to give up a couple of those dollars. If you still okay with giving all your money to Uncle Sam and to Jeff Bezos and to all these other platforms that sell our regalia, you know, instead of helping this infrastructure become successful and hold me accountable and hold our organization accountable, you know? That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking for much. I be asking people to give $20 a week, $25 a week. And with that $25 a week, I'm going to give you literature. That's all I be asking people to donate $100 a month. You don't even got to ask for books or nothing because I'm going to make sure you get it. If you want turbans and fezzes, I'm going to be like, this is what it costs. Why? Because you're a part of the community. No matter if you buying it, you're going to get a tax and receipt. It's part of your culture. Then I'm going to show you other things. It's a lot that come with this ministry, with this gift. And that's all I'm telling my brothers. We got to be okay with spending some of our money on some of the things that we say we love. And I have everything for our community. I can't have all these brothers on my page, 3 and 4 and 5,000 people, and I get no donations. Why? Tell me why I get no donations and the same people pop up on here every week and I ask people, do y'all like the teachings? And you can come to my private teachings of book club and adapt and history and civics class and Sunday school. And then if the teachings are enlightening you and if you say yes, then why wouldn't you give a donation? We'll give a donation, well, not a donation, but we'll pay to go to clubs to drink them watered down drinks and buy clothes to see the same people that we say we don't like, and we'll celebrate our failures. But when we learn something, or when a brother is imparting wisdom and you know he's teaching, and you come here every week and I can give you literature and tax exempt receipts, tell me why I don't get my people to donate. Please, somebody answer that. With all due respect. And when I be having, and if people ever join my classes on my YouTube channel with all my information going down, how you can donate, and people act like they don't know what I'm talking about, tell me why you don't donate. Because you would go to the club and donate. You would give that money. You go to the same place and be like, man, it was whack. And they'll say, why you go there each week? But then people will come here on my page and say, man, what you be teaching, ain't nobody heard it. They'll be stealing your teachings. And you won't even support? You won't even support? Tell me why. At least we can say, man, no, we support. And then when other people come, we can hold other people accountable. Be like, you ain't supporting this brother. And then you can be like, no, we're going to block this person. Then we become a community where everybody will be holding each other accountable. But the only reason why we can't hold nobody accountable, because everybody ain't, honoring a workman that's due his hire. We're not honoring it. And then when we do honor stuff like that, people that don't respect it, you will feel the same way as my muftis. You'll be like, well, Sheikh, well, are any of these people donating? And I can say no. And then we'll say why. We can't let people tell us what to do and we like it. And we support all these other people, clubs and all these people, organizations, and they shoe companies and they nasty restaurants that poison us. But then you say, this is food, this is drink, I'm giving you something to edify you. And you telling me it ain't worth nothing? For the 3,000 people, it ain't worth nothing. I told people, if people just donated $100 a month and 300 people, I have a brick and mortar. People say they want to meet me and talk to me. You can come to the temple, come to the school, come here and that. People talk about they need to move their area and migrate to our area. We own houses. If it's single moms and all that, we can help. But I can't help if people ain't gonna help. This is all I'm saying, and I'm gonna do right with what I'm saying. What I need to do, family. And I can put my own money up with everything. I got 10 bands to put on anything right now. My own cash. If some cost 100 grand, I got 10 bands of my own bread. I put up. Ain't nobody doing that. I put up 10 bands of my own cash. I put up anything of my own cash that I work for a while because I live under my means. If we need to buy something, I put up my own bread and be just invested as anybody else. That's what I'm saying. 300 people giving $100 a month, that's 360,000 tax-exempt dollars in 1 year. I'll go buy a building right now and we'll all be stakeholders. And then I'll do a synopsis of what it costs to keep the lights on, all that. I'll come right back to the people and say, this is what it costs to keep the lights on. This is what it costs to keep this going on. Any maintenance on this, to pay our bills, to cut the grass and shovel the snow. This is our basic overhead. Boom. So we know how to operate. And now we're doing community work. Now it's time for us to do ministry. That's all I have to give. And as I close, man, I'm really, really getting tired of doing this because I've been doing this for years before my muftis met me. They met me at my stores. When I used to be in Tucson, I ran our suit store before the so-called pandemic hit. This is where all my brothers met me. In real life, working, doing all this stuff, not on those streets as no poor righteous teacher. They saw me graduate from academia. They saw me going to the prisons, lecturing the kids, taking kids to all the Phoenix Sun games. And so everybody know my heart is pure. And if people want something, we can have something, family. And so the only reason why I say this and I keep saying the same thing, I wish it happens in my community, but I can't keep servicing the people that don't support. I can't. I love doing this because I know I'm reaching certain people, but it's doing nothing for me. And this little 4 months I've been home, I done lectured at the library, I done lectured at the Jewish church, and I done lectured at my alma mater, which is Clear University in Howell, Michigan, where the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan stayed, and I get crazy donations. I was like, man, everybody keep asking me, why do I continue to do this? Everybody keeps saying, just focus on your muftis and start traveling, which I'm getting ready to do. I'm getting ready to be in Sacramento in April around 11th, and then I'll be in St. Louis, and then I'll be in Maryland going to where all my muftis stay. Then I'll be in Atlanta, then Florida every other month or every 2 months. I'm going to be traveling. And so eventually I won't be here. And it hurts my heart because this done nothing for me. And the only reason why I say if I was a criminal and I was on here selling fake ID, or if I was like these other people renting a Bentley in Arizona, I mean in Vegas, telling you a whole bunch of lies and criminal stuff that's regurgitated to show you how to be a criminal, I'd be popping. If I was on here some fake guru selling you some fake life, I'd be popping. And I know it because I have all the wisdom. And only a smart person can gank people. I know how to do it, but I don't have the heart to do that. Why? Because I know I'll be took out. The Creator will take me out. Something will happen. And I know my mother and my father and my empress won't look at me in the way that everybody respect me in my city and everywhere. People told me, man, you can be a fool like Charleston White and get paid. I said, oh, so that's what I got to do, be a fool like Charleston White. And I'm looking at people, and these grown people, they were like, it don't matter, man, get your money. And I said, oh, so any means necessary to get money? I don't want it then. I die like this, and I lived a good life. I don't want it like that. And that's all I'm saying. I don't want it unjustly where a person can be like, oh, man, this man ain't right. He just like the rest of them. I don't want that. I don't want it like that. I feel my people can support and feel good about it. And I can give everybody a tax-exempt receipt, and we can build something where I ain't no character. I ain't misrepresenting nothing. So once again, man, I thank y'all for listening for me for these couple hours, man. Once again, if y'all like the teachings, share it with your friends and family. If you like it, in my bio, all my information is there. Share it. Please give a donation. Send your email for I can correspond with you, for I can send you things. My email is my last name, Goodman, GOODMAN, KHARY @gmail.com. My office number is 602-473-8767. Come on. I'm tired of Moors jumping on my page with the same thing. Because once again, here go another Moor with a bay. And these people be on my page every week. And it ain't no disrespect. It ain't no disrespect. That's why I be asking people, write these people names down and then see what they about. I have the same people with Moors flags, with Bay on this. They jump right on my page each week. And then I ask them, where you studying at? Where you learn at? Or I'll go to this temple, or this is my sheik and everything. But you on my page every week. So if I'm doing some good and I'm teaching you, why you don't invite me to your temple? Why you don't invite me to go teach all the brothers? This is what I be telling us. Like you just said, what's your name? What's your name again? Well, like brother J.D. Berry said, people be on here getting stuff to take back to their temple, like the sheik from Atlanta on my page. His name was Rasul. My mufti on here, he'll tell you, and so you 100% right, because these Moors be on my page every week, won't say nothing, be all on my TikTok page and everything, and won't say nothing, and they be on here each week. And then they say, well, I go to this temple, I go to this and all that. And then when you look on their page, they be like, man, I see why y'all in shambles. They be like, but y'all own Sheik Goodman Bay page every single week, and y'all ain't invite him to your temple? You ain't inviting this brother to come be a speaker? Yeah, yep. See, look, I'm on TikTok, Noble, and the brother said it, shaking my head, Ross CDL, because see, they be knowing it. They be knowing it. The brother be on my page. I forget what the dude called himself, and he in Atlanta. And he was on my page. He was not the old man, but he called himself Haru. You know, the dude called himself Haru or whatever. I got to find the dude. I saved everything. He came out with another book on my page each week. And just like the brother that's on my YouTube page right now, said Sheik, he's like, I can't believe people have been following you for 5 years and they ain't into your science and they ain't rocking with you and they out there. He said they piggybacking off your science. And I said, yep. I got all their names. How I know? Because the Empress already told me. It's the same people that are on my page. And then here go the brother, he said, I used to be a member of his temple, Sheik Haru. See? You see what I'm saying? Noble, if you come on my TikTok page, you will see. You will see right now, brother J.D. Berry, everything we talking about, what you said earlier, you were like, how people been following you for years and they invited you to their temples. And then when I be talking about stuff, they be right here. And I said, this man be on my page all the time. When I be talking about stuff, this man was on my page every week. Every week on my page, every week on my page. And I say something, I say, brother, you on my page, you ain't gonna say nothing. And then my Noble Malik was on there. They was like, well, Sheik, these people that be having fictitious name. My name, Kari Ibn Hakeem Goodman Bay. That's my name. I don't have no fake name. I annex my L and Bay to my name. My name is Kari. That's my name that my mama gave me. I annexed my L and Bay to what? My family crest, my coat of arms. You see what I be saying? Noble, when people be acting like they don't know what I talk about, and they don't say nothing to me, exactly, Jay, he was like, you should shut it all down, bro. I'm about to shut it all down. When I was following you, you said you didn't do Friday meetings, but I used to do the AM workouts with you. Yeah, I used to work out. We do Friday meetings, we do it private. This is what I be telling people. A lot of stuff I don't share publicly on TikTok because I don't have to. We private. We got the right to be private. I teach privately. I got Zoom with all my moves. We teach stuff privately. Our meetings be privately. It's so much information that I talk about. People never see social media because it's private. This is what I be saying. And that's how I know people confused. And I'll be like, it'd be the same thing. And I'll be like, see, and I'll be in Atlanta. I got family in Atlanta. I'll be in Vegas. I'll be in California. I'll be in Flint. I'll be in Detroit. And all of it's a joke. And that's why I be saying why, because everybody be acting like they want some power or it's a game. With all due respect, I'll be like, I know it. And this person said back in the day. And so somebody said, ask that brother how long he been following you, Sheik. I don't know. Ask him. Ask Brother Noble, what's your name? Markel Bay. How long you been following? With all due respect, his name Markel _Bay. Somebody said they know you. Somebody on my other platform was like, they from Atlanta. He was like, I know that brother. Can you say your name so I can say who it is? He was like, that brother know who I am. He like, cause we've been following you for a long time, Sheik. See, I told you, that's what he just said. He said, I've been following you since 2019, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. That's 7 freaking years. And ask these people, do they donate? Ask these people, do they support? And I'm not saying you, it ain't no disrespect. I told you. And then this individual, he said, and that individual was part of that dude's temple in Atlanta? Yeah, yes, he was. He said it, not me. I don't know this. This is what the brother said. And then when that sheik was following me, he used to be on my page every single day. And I'm just talking regular like here. And then somebody said, oh, he picking back off your information. Somebody was like, oh, he gonna have to go correct himself off everything because you destroying all that rhetoric. All that rhetoric. He's like, oh, these people playing, leading their people into a burning house. I was like, yeah, I know that. I'm an educator and a scholar and a shaman and a medicine man. All that other rhetoric, I'm done with it. He said, I support through Moorish haberdasher. Maybe you might have bought some regalia. And that's like other people say. And, and I ask people, where you get your fez from? When you get your fez, you should want to get your fez from somebody that can anoint you and consecrate you and tell you the ins and outs about your fez so you can understand it. So you can understand what you're doing. But we don't. We'll go to Amazon, we'll go to George Lottery and buy some, and then when a different nationality or a Mason asks you some questions, you know nothing about the history or the science of your fez. Why? Because you ain't let someone anoint you with it. Why? Because we want to just do things on our own. With all due respect. People be arguing over colors. Oh, they're the red fez, the red fez. Like, man, all colors is perforation for symbology, but we let people tell us stuff. These people that's not anointed and consecrated. And then, brother, let's ask the truth. Is it Moorish Science Temple of America or is it Moorish Science Inc.? Because if it ain't Moorish Science Temple of America, then it's Moorish Science Inc. That ain't Moorish Science Temple of America. So they take this and that and do their own thing. That's why I have a school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. If it ain't Moorish Science Temple of America, which I'm part of, and you say Moorish Science Temple of America Inc., that ain't what the prophet established. That ain't what the prophet established, because the prophet ain't established no Moorish Science Temple, Inc. He established the Moorish Science Temple of America, and you can research everything about the Moorish Science Temple of America from the County Clerk Recorder of Deeds and the CCRD and the template, the state booklet of how the prophet set the temple up. So I already be knowing, and it ain't no disrespect to you, peace, Noble Dantes. It ain't no disrespect to you, Noble. I love you, but people just be proving me right. Here it is, brother, been following me since 2019, and these individuals be with sheiks in their own city and say they not following them no more, but been following me since 2019. No disrespect to you, I'm just using it as a speaking reference, but been following me since 2019. Yeah, they might have bought some things from me, which is fine, but people ain't supporting the temple so we can get a brick and mortar the same way as the person in Atlanta have, that these people ain't following no more. That's all I'm saying. If we say we were the part of that, and so why we not with this sheet no more? Because there's people that ain't with me no more, and the only reason why they ain't with me no more because they criminals. And I call everyone out, and my muftis on here because we on YouTube. Everybody that ain't with me no more, they either went to prison or they criminals, or they got drinking problems, or they got character flaws, or they don't listen to someone and they don't want to be taught the right way, and they think they're gonna get, and it's a magical gold at the end of a rainbow, and they get destroyed. Those are the only people that ain't rocking with my science. The only ones. So when I be saying this, and I be like, I've been to Atlanta. I write everything down that people follow me. I got empresses that been following me for years. I got brothers that be part of Moorish Science Temples of America for years. And then they be like, Sheik, that person been following you for over 7 years. Because I got everybody information. I'll be waiting for somebody to lie. I'll be waiting for somebody to lie and be like, dude, you've been following me for 2019. Why? Because I got all your information. And I'll be like, man, your sheik be all on my page. Your so-called sheik be all on another sheik page. And then if you on there, we won't even pay homage to somebody that got a little bit of more wisdom. We won't even invite the person to come. That's why I said we is nothing. We ain't nothing because we don't take no one that's greater than I or greater than what you dealing with and say, no, we need to bring this person as a guest speaker. We need to house this person. How? Because when I deal with my brotherhood, that's what happens. You said, yeah, I remember we all used to work out on Zoom before you began to teach. Man, I got so many more named down right now, and they be like, man, them temples ain't nothing, Sheik. I know. And here it is, I can't even get people to support. And I say, you can work out with us private. We still work out. Brother Markel Bay, we still work out 5 days a week. Early in the morning, my mufti, Lamarck, Barclay Bay, we do it all on StreamYard privately. We still work out every morning. And then Saturday and Sunday, my mufti Malik Riel do it. We've been doing this forever. And then people that be watching me and pulling me up, they're like, man, like you do all this and people don't support you, do all this. You help people set up trust funds. You do all this. Help people set up their business and articles of organizations and XYZ. You do all this and people don't support. Because you tell me what temple and school do all this. I'll wait. Because I told people, I said, you can be a part of everything we do. Why? Because I can send you the email. Now I got my private platforms, everybody that deal with me, my mufti, they just send the email to all our members. And that's how we all be on StreamYard. When we work out, everybody in the morning, we got regular people that work out with us in the morning. My mufti, Lamarck, that's in Sacramento, he got women, everybody working out with us. Because he's a professional referee at a side hustle. You know, so he bring people together and they come on our platform. And here it is, I know all these Moors and they don't seek me out. They don't even say nothing to me. But then brothers say they be part of these temples here and there and the other, and they ain't a part of them no more. So that means you a rogue Moor, and I'm not saying you. And when people been following me knowing I'm a sheik and don't come all the way in, I be like, man, that's messed up, Dantes. And that's all I'm saying. I'm on TikTok too, Dantes. Dantes is another one of my muftis. And when I be saying people been following me for years, and that's why we can't build nothing, because Moors be taking what I'm saying, or I'm not saying you, and then people be honest with like, yeah, I know that sheik. Rasul, I used to be a member of his temple, but I ain't no more. But I've been following you since 2019, Sheik. I'd be like, well, damn, I gotta be saying something good. I mean, that's why I be saying my people be confusing me. And the only reason why people ain't all the way in, because you know I'm teaching you the truth, and I'll never teach you nothing, your children nothing, that'll get you in trouble. And if it's Moorish Science Temple of America, anything about the temple, anything about Noble Drew Ali, is always can be researched. What you say, Noble, you always been saying good stuff, Mo. I know, because the European be like, man, your people better wake up. It's only one temple. It's a stake booklet. Everything that I talk about, if any more right now got a plate and talk about this day trust fund at the end of the rainbow, they lying. Because the 1099 is not no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. It's a religious affidavit. And you can get the letter from the CCRD. Now, you can go on Instagram right now, and all these goofy Moors, no disrespect, got some plate they showing you, and that's 40, 50 years old, talk about these are Moorish American plates with some 1099 on it. Tell me I'm lying, because y'all done seen it. Tell me I ain't lying. Y'all done seen people on social media talk about they some sheik of the Moorish Science Temple and they can nationalize you and telling you that they paperwork is right. Come on. And then I hit them up and tell them to get on my page and I'm going to tell them exactly who they are. And I'm going to tell them there ain't no truth in them. I don't care if you got a cock eye, a straight eye, none of that. Yeah, you see, Dantes, yeah, 1010 5905. See, I know. You know what I'm talking about, Noble. Yes, it ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. The 1010 5905 ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. Y'all know if anybody telling you that, you done. What you said, Noble, if you enjoy the teachings, if you enjoy the health and fitness and workouts, join the BBT. That's all I'll be saying. But you see, our lives have to be took for us to do something. This is what I be saying. I don't be saying no disrespect down to no one. I be like, dude, these men been following us for years. And still on the Fugazi. The 1099 ain't no trust fund at the end of the rainbow. It's a religious affidavit. And you can get all this information from the county clerk, recorder of deeds. Just like if I said I graduated from such and such university, you can get my official transcripts with the seal on it or unofficial. This is what I be telling people. So why are we playing these games? You see how easy this stuff can be fact checked? It's only one temple. And a lot of these places, it's not Moorish Science Temple of America, it's Moorish Science Inc. or Moorish Science of the world. And that's how you know it's not Moorish Science Temple of America, because they can pull out all our words, all our declaration, proclamation, our bylaws, and anybody that's operating outside of what the prophet set up, you done. Because one, you falsifying documents. Everybody know I'm telling the truth. Come on. The Sheikh Lovell and Sheikh is Lovell, man, I got the document from 2016. This stuff is old. That's why I be like, man, stop the cap. A sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. I be asking people to ask me something else. So the only reason why we not popping like we should be, because most Moors are criminals. And people just proving me right. Because most of these individuals on here is 40 plus. 40 plus, and they won't say names. Well, I say the names. I don't care. Y'all been following RV Bay Publishing. Y'all been following all these people. Yeah, I know it is. It's Moors forging the prophet's signature and everything, Mo. I know it, but you can't forge. Let me tell you what I know before I get out of here. In Chicago, you're dealing with Marcel Walden L. You know, he passed. When I was in Saginaw, Arizona, I met all these old Moors with all this bum stuff. They couldn't even stay out of temple. So my man Eric L, he stayed in the complex I stayed in. I met him. Him and his wife used to have a vendor at GCU. These people lost everything following that crap. I let them people be at my building. I used to have a metaphysical building in Arizona where I used to teach every Sunday. I kicked them out of my building. Ask my empress, ask my dad. These Negroes, excuse my candor, ain't never read the Moorish Science Temple. I ain't never read the Moorish Quran. Coming here with all this charlatan stuff. And so the state booklet be whooping them. I was live one day at some Moor. This what these bums and these ex-prisoners Moors talk about like, oh, well, that's my sheik stuff. Man, your sheik got that from the prophet. That's why it burned these people's fingertips off. You can't forge the prophet stuff. How the prophet set the temple up, everything. It's in a state booklet. Everything that's valid, I share the state booklet with everyone. That's why I be laughing at people. You can't change what the prophet did. It's free information. You know? And so when these people think they smart, they'll do all this stuff, and then they'll say, oh, we don't pay taxes, but then why that so-called sheik got in trouble for filing fake taxes. And it's public information. See? And all my muftis got the information. You see? You see what I'm saying? And people be mad. You know? It's sad. So when people talk about forging a prophet name, the letter of the CCRD, it whoop people. You can't forge nothing. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't forge nothing. You know? And the state booklet shows this. You know, I share with everybody. I share the letter from the CCRD. Anything else? All my brothers and sisters got it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been on here for hours. I'm finna sit back and chill. But the state booklet, the 1099 and all these Moors be playing, and it's not Moorish Science Temple of America. You know it. Is the temple in Brother Marquel Bay, the temple that you was a part of with my man, is it Moorish Science Temple of America, or is it Moorish Science then got some ink on it? Watch. And then everybody paperwork should look just like mine. The Moorish Science Temple of America, we got 3 IDs, a travel ID, a member ID, and a tax exempt ID. Now, we all got a tax exempt ID from one temple. When people be talking about some trust fund and it's a trust fund at the end of the rainbow, it's nothing at the end of the rainbow. It ain't nothing, ain't no money, it ain't no buildings, it's nothing. So what people talking about? See, I know it is. You said, hell no, they was MSTA Unity Temple. Shake. I told you. All I do is ask simple questions. That'll tell you they ain't Moorish Science Temple of America. There you go. They operate on their own. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It ain't Moorish Science Temple of America. They take a little bit of this and mix it and blend it and do their own thing. That's why I have a school. Well, the Moorish Science Temple of America wasn't created to be no Islamic set or no government set. It was a school. It's a school. It's a school. And a sheikh, based off our charter, you're supposed to teach people their nationality and their spirituality, that they Negro, blacks, colored, and African Americans, that they not. Anything else, this must be your expertise. All these people are above their pay grade. I'm telling you. So I don't care about nobody forging a prophet name. Forging a prophet name to do what? It ain't nothing. You ain't finna get nothing. That's why I be laughing. A lot of stuff be rhetoric and barbershop talk. Oh, they forge a name, it's some seal. It ain't no seal. You can go right now to Office Max and Staples and make a seal and say Moorish Science, this, and that, and the other with Noble Drew Ali on it. It still ain't mean nothing. It still don't mean nothing because it's only one prophet and it's only one temple still. You can't, now remember, you can't make a fake charter. Remember, it's only one charter. You can't make a fake charter. That's why it's not Moorish Science Temple of America. Remember, you can't make a fake charter. So nothing is fake what these people doing. They just saying Moorish Science Temple or this, that, and the other, and the ending is this, that, and the other, making it distinctive from Moorish Science Temple of America. So they not lying. They just smart with it. When I'm saying, hell, they ain't stupid. Anybody, it's not Moorish Science Temple of America. You see? It's ink, it's this, it's that, it's Unity Temple, it's church. And that's why I can't recreate the Moorish Science Temple of America. If all I can do is teach the right teachings, I'm part of the temple. I didn't want to recreate the temple. I wanted the temple in school because I know the rhetoric that the temples are. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. You know? And when that happens, the creator and the science said, create your own school for Moors that can be guided the right way. Because I can't recreate the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's the Moorish Science Temple of America in my city of Flint, Michigan right now on ML King. It ain't even rocking right. The phone number ain't on. Look it up and call the phone number. I bet you the phone number disconnected. So why would I want to model something like that? And I'm from the city of Flint. You know? You know? Ain't no such thing as Afro-Asiatic. I don't know what people be saying. I'm about to delete you. You know, no disrespect. Because I don't know what you mean when you say Afro-Asiatic. Ain't nothing Afro about nothing. That's all I be saying. It's like, come on, man. If we here to learn, let's learn. But let's not overspeak ourselves and be saying things that's not relevant to nothing. With all due respect, there's no such thing as an Afro-Asiatic. That's like an Afro-American, and that's an oxymoron. What we talk about? Afro what? What if I don't have an Afro? With all due respect, and I don't mean no disrespect to no one. You know, I really don't. So when people saying that reincarnate, why you want to reincarnate something? Why you can't be yourself? Our prophet told us and taught us to be ourselves, but everybody want to say that reincarnated to us. You hear the cap? When it don't make no sense. Well, we the reincarnating of this. Why? You your mama's son. Why are you the reincarnating? I'm the reincarnating of Noble Drew Ali. And then people be having that little red book, that white book, what is called the resurrection. And when they have, I forget my man on the cover, y'all know, and he holding an Asiatic woman on there. And in that book is truth and falsehood strangely mixed. You open that book, you go to a certain chapter about the marriage union, and then these brothers in there talk about go buy your wife from the Europe and go get a marriage law. Go get a marriage license and all this stuff and all that stuff. And I'm like, our prophet ain't teach you that. He said, if you don't want to abide by our teachings, you go to the misnomer white man, go to the courts and buy your wife. If you don't want to abide by our teachings. Man, people need to stop that. That's a third-party contract. You said Afro-Asiatic nations that share a family language, but I'm open to correction. Ain't nothing Afro, nothing about me. Because when we say this, watch, it's going to be an easy fix. You say nations that share a family language, but I'm open to correction. Well, you got to see what a nation consists of. A nation consists of certain things that we agree on. That's a nation. It don't have nothing to do with money. It don't have to do with a specific language so much. It have to do with what we abide by, what's our bylaws. That's a nation per se. Not what nobody tell us or not what nobody think. Because with specifics, Afro what? Because I can say, okay, well, he speak Berber. He speak Bantu. And this brother know how to interpret all that. And we all agree to be a nation based off what? The ish, based off the things that we agree on. This is what I be saying. It's more than what people think. It's more than what people think. We'll say this. We'll use terms that somebody told us. Like Mexican and Latino and all this, and then your grandma and your elders will be like, yeah, that's the name that the European gave us. They're like, we natives to the land. Like, it's so much history that I know people don't know. But that's what we do. We'll get on social media and argue with us with this porous science stuff, or with this straight out of Africa stuff, or with all this stuff. You will see a person get on here and say, oh, we all from Africa. And I say, well, ask Google, since you know everything. Ask Google, is all misnomer black people from Africa, and see what Google tell you. That's why I'd be like, man, what is people talking about? It's like, it's a joke, and we a laughing stock, And so if people here to learn, it's a certain way to learn. Hit me up, come to class. Come to class, let's learn the right way. Just like if a person say, well, I want to learn, only way you're going to learn, I want to go to school, you got to go to that infrastructure and learn. I'm on here to court people. I'm asking people to support our teachings for you can learn, for you can get the books, for you can get the scholarship, for you can teach your kids. A workman is due his hire, but nobody want to support the ministries. That's why I'm saying nobody want to support nothing, to where I'm getting ready to be forced to go have to work, no disrespect, for the man. That's what everybody call it. I have to go work for the man and say, yep, I'm going to take that 150 grand to teach 2 days at the university, to teach an hour and a half class twice a week. I'm going to go take that. Why? Because I can't even get people to donate. And everything that I'm doing, they like, you can teach an academia. All the books you have, you can do all that for the students. Ain't that a bleepity bleep? And and this is what I'm saying. So when people want to say, when people speak, say, well, what's your background? And people respect me, I get that, but respect, it really means nothing. If we a body, if we an institution, and we need finances to spread this mission, for I can share the books, for I can share everything with people, it's on some more stuff. When people say they're here to learn, and I say, really, how are you here to learn? To get everything free? Because a lot of these people are already part of stuff. I'm on TikTok, and with all due respect, I love brothers. But the brother just said he been following me since 2019. Brother Markel said, yeah, you right, Sheik. Because my man, you talk about Rasul or Haru. Hey, I used to be a part of his temple in Atlanta, and that man used to be on my page every single day. So how is a person here to learn if they ain't going to support it? That's all I'm saying, man. I love everyone, but I need my brothers and sisters' support. I got family and nephews and nieces that be following me that go to these churches. Just like my dad said, my dad, 80, he an elder. He said, man, son, you got every right to talk like that. We a party and BS all day. And then people that jump on my page, the same people, the same family, the same thing, and won't give 75 cents, won't give nothing. And tell me why. Tell me why you won't donate nothing to the ministry. How are we going to get a building? How are we going to do all this and the people don't donate? People say they want to learn. How you going to learn? They say, well, man, give a donation for this brother can keep doing what he's doing. He'll give you a tax and receipt. He'll talk to you one-on-one. This is this man real life. I'm choosing to get on here and talk to y'all for free. You know, I'm choosing because I love my people. But damn, it ain't worth nothing. That's all I ask my people. What I'm doing is worth nothing. If you tell me it's worth nothing, this will be my last day on social media. And I understand it and I respect it. All a person got to do is say, yeah, brother, the shit you talking about, excuse my candor, it ain't worth nothing. Go on and do your thing. And I respect that because I ain't mad at nobody. But if it's worth something and the same people jump on here, then why we won't support? Why everybody be like, yeah, man, you the truth and this, and that, and the other. And Moors be having fezzes and turbans and be calling me sheik, be calling me rabbi, be calling me Abba. And they don't put nothing on the altar. They don't put nothing on the altar. And all my information is on there. Tell me why. That's all I ask people. If I'm not saying nothing that's relevant, tell me why you don't support. And nobody will say nothing. And that's what I be saying about us. You know, nobody will say nothing. Nobody will support. Nobody will give nothing to be like, man, we going to support you, Sheik. At least we support you. So I can say, well, the people that supporting, I'm going to bring all y'all private and we can be done with this. I'm going to bring everybody to Zoom and StreamYard and we can be done with this. Everybody can be a part of our private group where people can say, no, Sheik, we support you. Forget the rest of the people. If they want to deal with you, you've been doing this for over 10 years, social media for free. If people want to deal with you, they can donate and be a part of our private teachings. And then the people that's dealing with me, y'all can share it on y'all page and y'all can talk to y'all people. Since people be saying they be sharing my teachings and doing all this, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. And you said, I realize most Moors are broke trying to get something for free. Yeah, they all broke. It's poor science. Most of them came from prison. Most of them be acting like you can file this, you can file this. Most of them broke. Most of them graduate. Most of them didn't graduate out of high school. I mean, most of them broke. Most of they women work. Most of them not married, just like a lot of these Hebrew Negroites. Most of them broke and the women on Section 8 and the government they daddy. So I know what's going on. Moors don't own nothing. It ain't nothing that the Moors own. Tell me what Moors own in their neighborhood. Tell me if Moors own houses. And I don't even have a big community like a lot of these Moors on social media that call themselves the Sheiks of Atlanta. Man, we own 5 houses in the city and we own 10 acres in Kingsman, Arizona. 10 acres. 10 acres of prime real estate. What these people own in their communities? Nothing. We can be just like the Jewish community, own everything in our neighborhood. We can pick a city in the city of Flint and I can show us how to do it. And then this can be the blueprint. People should be traveling to see me, coming to the city like, yeah, hey y'all, we bought the building in Flint. We done turned it to the BBT, to the Moorish House, to the community center. Brothers start coming. And then the Great Migration, it's not going to no damn Africa. The Great Migration is going to an area because we Americans and picking it, and then we own everything, and I can make everybody homeowners. People can come around and we take an area and we own this stuff as we bring in people to take over a certain community that's rich, that's Moorish. Like with my Mufti on my YouTube page, Dantes, he live in St. Louis. We getting ready to do work in St. Louis the same way we doing in Flint. Nope, here we go. Claims of adverse possession. Here we go again. I just broke that down. Nope, we ain't rocking with that. See, that's why I tell people they need to tune in. I just taught that. And then Moors always show me that they don't know what they be talking about. No disrespect to you. If everybody that's been following me for the last couple hours, I just lectured this. I just showed you how people get in trouble. I just showed it. Didn't I? Didn't I, y'all? Didn't I? Everybody on here to be like, yep. And then this brother with no disrespect, what you say your name is, no disrespect. This person's name is claimed the Ron Mr. 6571. And this person said claims of adverse possession. What you mean? So let's break it down. Since this brother said it, I got a little bit more time. Because I don't care about watching the game. I'm finna watch the game. But what do you mean? What do you mean adverse possession and claims of adverse possession? Because you said it, like, educate me. Because I just illuminated this. And this how people be getting themselves caught up. They be talking about things that they haven't done. They be talking about things that they not fully versed on because they got that stuff from some rhetoric off social media with all due respect. So please enlighten me. When the people see on my page claims of adverse possession, what do you mean? What is adverse possession and what do you think adverse possession is? Because I just cleared that up. And that's how I know a lot of our brothers don't have a true idea of what they be talking about. With all respect, you can't. You can't. If that's your claim to fame, if that's your claim to fame, we lost. And that's what I be telling. Just like you just said, here it is. A lot of brothers be on that. Oh, I can file this, and we can do this. We can file this. Like, dude, no, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. You got that rhetoric. That's all I'm saying. If so, tell me what you own outright. Tell me what the people own. Tell me what you own. It's a whole bunch of rhetoric. With all due respect, it's no disrespect, but this is what I get with people that just be talking. And I'll be like, okay, we'll explain it. And they can't. That's genre. That's barbershop talk. Some that you done heard. And I said, do you understand everything what you just said? No. Because I'll ask a person, thank you. Thank you, Dantes. That's what I'll be saying. What do you mean by that? Because you can't just say nothing and then people are like, yeah, we can have first this and all this. It'd be done. I just lectured this. I'm finna send it to all my muftis real fast for people can read what I read earlier. And this how people be getting caught up, listening to people on social media because the stuff sound good. And yeah, you can do this, you can do this. No, you can't. You said ain't even adverse possess their nationality yet. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I said this poor science. I just broke this down. I just broke it down. And that's why I be telling Moors, you need to come to class and learn. Because a lot of brothers just be speaking because you watch some videos and then you would do this stuff and you'd be operating wrong. And then you try to plea yourself to the court to a lesser charge. So that means you admit a guilt. You admitting guilt and you get a court-appointed attorney. You can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. But did he talk about some adverse possession? Adverse possession of what? Where you get that stuff from? And see, they'll never say nothing. Write these people's names down because you got to say it when a person say what? Claims of adverse possession. What you mean? Because we don't operate like that. I don't operate like that because I know the difference. I know if it's a bandit or I know if a person owned it and it's certain in the city of Flint, you got to be occupying it for 15 years, paying all the taxes. So what you mean adverse? Squatters have no rights. Squatters have no rights in the state of Michigan and Florida. So what we talking about? This is what I be saying. We got to stop dealing with this poor science bum stuff. This is what I be saying. Everybody think they can file some fake paperwork and get something. And then they don't want to. And I said, I ain't snapping. I'm helping people not get in trouble following these charlatans. That's what I'm doing. And nobody will say nothing. When I say, well, tell me what claims of adverse possession is. Tell me. Show me. Show me you done it. Show me what it's about. You can't. You just talking. And that's what I be saying. Moors need to shut up sometimes and listen. But what happens? They get on here and show that they don't know exactly what they talking about and then get upset. And then we be giving out false information. Oh, it claims of adverse possession. Tell me what you're talking about. See, they can't. They're going to type a whole bunch of stuff what they heard. Tell me what you're talking about. They can't. Not from wisdom, not from understanding. Because I know that crap. You don't have no corporate debt and all that stuff is criminal stuff. If you ain't done your due diligence, paperwork go, what you say, paperwork go have you in the same position you was in and maybe end up with a charge. Thank you. I just broke this down, didn't I? That's why I said, I be like, I told you, our people gonna get us messed up. Squatters have no rights. I just showed these people. And then here it is, the more get on here with the same rhetoric that they got off at some conscious community stuff or following some charlatan. I told y'all, and then ask these people how old they are. Ask them how old they are. I bet you they ain't no kid that's 20, 18, 19. I bet you this a grown person. This is what I be saying, the audacity. I be like, man, this is some sad stuff. This is some sad stuff. Let me get back to the point. Preventing adverse possession. When you don't know, oh, well, I'm squatting this, but you don't know if a person owned it or not. You ain't done your due diligence. How you know this person don't own a house? How you know? You know? What do you know? Nothing. But everybody done got on social media with that poor stuff, or I'm finna go do adverse possession on this mansion. Like, go sit down. Like, you can't even afford to keep the mansion. You see? But this the rhetoric. This what we do. This what our people do. Am I right or am I wrong? This is why I said it's a messed up world and people don't want to learn. This is what I'm saying. Like, no disrespect. People like that person, I don't know, where his name? Where did he say? adverse possession. Well, he done deleted it, didn't he? Nope. What's your name? At the Aaron Mr. 6571. And my homeboy said, my homeboy said, I got to write this person's name down to see who following this person, to see what they talking about. Thank you. See, I told y'all, when you jump on my page, talk stuff, now I got my people that's on my page, are like, let's see what this person all about. And then now my homie done jumped on this person's page, was like, Sheik, this SHIT is laughable. I know it's laughable. I know it's laughable. These people be talking this stuff that's be getting people in trouble. Claims of adverse possession. You ain't claimed no adverse possession on Pooh Diddley. Tell the truth, shame the devil. Real talk, no disrespect. You ain't claimed no adverse possession on Pooh freaking Diddley. Now we can keep it 100 and save time. You ain't reversed no possession on nothing. We be worried about stuff and they even corrected ourselves first. And this is what I'll be saying, how this stuff became out of hand. We be worried about so much stuff outside of ourselves and we ain't even corrected ourselves yet. And this is what I'll be saying about this porous science. You don't watch some videos. You don't watch the dude, Michael Novick, he in prison now. So you probably following the dude on social media, the big light-skinned dude talking that rhetoric. I know it because that's the science. That's the rhetoric you talking about. So you can't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. It's the same BS. Tell me I'm lying. Everybody on here like, Sheik, you know it, because that's the same rhetoric. Research Roger Elvick. Yeah, Yusuf L. I know. Research Roger Elvick. Research Roger Elvick. And see what I'm talking about, that redemption movement. Pull up the Paradigm Group in Canada. Same stuff. So, man, y'all need to go sit down. This is what I'll be telling you. Like my dad said, my dad, an elder, 80. Just start saying what it is. Go sit down somewhere with your retired self. No disrespect, but it's clearly this is retarded. And clearly you sending people in the burning house. And then you won't even say where you getting that garbage from, because it's straight up garbage. And I'm telling you like that from love, it's garbage. I'm giving a divine warning or a divine message to those that's heart that's pure. And you don't want it? This is the fire. This is I'm swinging my scimitar in love. People should respect it. I'm giving a divine message and a divine warning. What's a prophet and an angel based off our 101s? What's a prophet and an angel? Come on, I ask people the basics with our map. What's a prophet and an angel? Moors can't even tell me, but you talk about some adverse possession, man, go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. And we should be able to tell people in our community to go sit down. We should be able to fact check them people and then go on their page like they on my page and see who they talking that rhetoric to. The same way where I had a Moor wife crying to me was like, he got locked up with that fake play sheet. And then she was like, but he was on your page and I saw him. Why he doing that? Ask him. Ask him right now. He on my page right now. Ask him why he got that fake plate on his car and he got arrested. Ask him why and your car got impounded. And I just told you the 1099 ain't no trust fund. You shouldn't have that on your car. Tell me. And the Moor ain't gonna tell you the truth. The same way with these fake charlatans talking this adverse possession, because I know what's gonna happen. Like you said, Noble, porous science. They bums. Real talk. And ain't nobody gonna say nothing because you know I'm telling the truth. I've been on here for 3 hours and I ask people to give a small donation to the teachings for I can show y'all. It's way much more. I'm gonna start giving y'all people these people real names to show y'all that they government informants. And a lot of these people, why they don't be going in jail, because just like when you a rat and just like when you an informant, you got to go set somebody else up. And that's how they get you with a RICO law. And now social media is so easy because people so gullible, they'll get you in what? They'll get you caught up in what? The Fed case, mail fraud, wire fraud, all these fake documents that's sent over through the mail with these fictitious names and these P.O. boxes. That's how they get y'all. Y'all ain't research these people and see they federal cases. The person y'all following on TikTok right now got a Fed case. Man, you send a donation, don't just call me. Nope, I'm telling y'all the real. Don't just call me and you ain't putting none on the altar. I'm telling you people real right now. We'll get in trouble and we'll get a court-appointed attorney and a court-appointed attorney and plead to a lesser charge. Don't call me unless you gave a donation. Don't call me unless because I'm not finna get on the phone with nobody held me on no conversation asking me 15 million freaking questions. No disrespect. Treat me the same way you treat your pastor. Treat me the same way you treat these sheiks that everybody thought was good. Don't just try to get free information from me and have me on the goddamn phone. Excuse my candor. And I'm not saying you, Brother Markel. I'm saying this to whoever. Because I got muftis. They on my page. They support. Don't do me like that. This is what I be telling people. Don't do me like that. When can I call you? And then you want to take time out my day and then want to say, he don't be answering his phone. Hell no. Why am I answering my phone to talk to you? Not you. I'm saying anybody. And take time out my day. And you want me to talk to you. Why? And won't nobody support nothing. Won't nobody give an offer and say, she, man, I gave you a donation. Can I give you a call? Yeah. But if you're part of what we're doing, I'm going to talk to you anyway. I'm going to help you. Why? Because I do it with all my muftis that donate. This is all I'm saying. And here it is, Morris, that's not part of my ministry, and I'm not saying you, Noble. This is what I get all the time. They be saying, can I call you tomorrow? This and that, when a good time, this and that and the other. Can I ask you this? I can ask you that. And then I say, where you study at? Oh, I'm in such and such with this sheik, this and that and the other. But you on my page every day. And I'm not saying you, I'm saying this is what I get from every single Moor on social media. This all I'm saying. And if anybody want to get with me, my mufti's on there. My information, I just gave my email. I gave my phone number, 602-473-8767. That's my number, 602-473-8767. I give my email, my name, goodman.curry@gmail.com. It ain't nothing else I can say. On my bio, all my information on there. It ain't nothing else I can say. So I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for listening to me. I love everyone on here, believe me. And it ain't no disrespect. Hit my bio and give a donation and send an email. And I promise you, it's going to be the best decision you ever made. Peace. Huh?